That was nice.
Chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out there, laid a big smile, little handcuff our officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script, we got some shooters. Pow, it's off the hip, yeah. Oh, chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Out there ain't a big smile, or handcuff our officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters. Pow, it's off the hip, yeah. Chilling at the head of the table where the boss is sitting, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out the arena, big smile, or handcuff our officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script. We got some shooters.
My good people, what's up out there? Off the hip family. We are here. My brother Razor, my brother Snake Eyes. How y'all feeling, man?
Man, been a long week.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week, man. We here, we made it though.
Yes, sir. We are here. The energy has picked up. Pardon us. That's on me for not bringing y'all a lovely episode of Off the Hip for y'all on Monday. I'm not gonna lie, the energy wasn't there for me. That's no good excuse. I just got put to sleep, y'all. I'm an old man.
We back to the other shit again, HD.
Yeah, I'm an old man, but we're not gonna talk about the past. We're not here to talk about
HD. You back in the water.
H. Your mic.
Back in the water. You back in the water again. We're back in the water.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
Joe Hendry, leave his shit alone.
They don't love me. It's okay.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
What is it? Who yo, hold on. What is this service I'm on right here?
You said something about that energy.
Yeah, it's the energy. It's the energy. You know what I'm saying? But now we're not here for the past. We're here for today, man. August 23rd, Friday. SmackDown. I ain't gonna lie, that crowd was lit tonight, y'all. Yeah. I don't know, was it just me or did that Washington crowd turn up tonight?
They came ready.
Bro, like I'm sitting there, I turn my I do this every week where I put the wrestling on 100 volume. And it's them few times where I gotta turn it down because of the crowd. Today was one of them rare times. I'm like, hold on.
No wonder your neighbors don't fuck with you like that.
Say, hold on. We good though. We're gonna bring it down to 80. You know what I'm saying? That crowd was lit tonight. I'm not gonna lie. They started off SmackDown showing us the Bloodline package from last week, man.
Right.
Then they transitioned into showing us the Bloodline arriving at the arena. I'm not gonna lie.
2 for 2.
The boot on walk. The boot ain't stopped Jacob. I'll tell you that.
That's so gangster. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like he really makes the Bloodline so much more fierce than what they already were. Like
that man different.
Bro, I already knew, bro. But I'm not gonna lie and say that I knew he was gonna cut down into that lean shape and be in one of the best shapes of his life and continue to put on the greatest work. Like this, we already seen what he did before, bro. Like
Corey Graves said, imagine when that man's 100%.
Bro.
Nah.
Bro, that group right there, like I said, they took a step up having Jacob there because the whole little Tongalo, we gonna get into that later on because the crowd was acting real diabolical towards Tongalo, y'all. They were getting real relentless.
Blasphemous.
I'm not gonna lie, they went crazy on him. But we're gonna get into that. Yo, they started off tonight with a little trolling. They hit the lights, the spotlights. You hear the comments. Who's that? Alicia? That's Alicia on the stick.
Yeah, Alicia Taylor.
Yo, she gave out the massive presentation. Like, I'm thinking we're about to get a legend for real, something. You know what we get? The Grayson Waller effect. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That opening to SmackDown, it boosted mine, bro. I'm not
I ain't
gonna
gonna
lie.
lie. Grayson kind of leveled up in aura today. Like he got some aura points today. Like he was in his bag today. I'll give him that.
There's
And
hope for him after all.
nah, there really is. And the way that they were featured on tonight's show, for real, like I don't want to say I was surprised, but I have to admit I was a bit surprised.
I was
Yeah, I
I
was
was
a bit
shocked as shit.
because they gave him this massive presentation in the beginning of the show. You know what I'm saying? And once again, his show was always kind of like, all right, yeah, you're gonna be on the Grayson Waller effect next week, and then there's really nothing out of it, right? Like today, they made that thing feel like something. So we get Cody Rhodes on the Grayson Waller effect, man. Again, Grayson was money tonight, right? When Cody gets down to the ring and he's gonna do his, no, we're not doing that. Yo, how'd y'all feel about this opening segment overall, and how it's set up for the main event of tonight?
So first of all, I just want to say, Grayson Waller, in theory, they definitely finna be IPs in a second because you see what your man Theory was doing the whole time. Your man Grayson was really trying to get his shit off, posing. Yeah, your man was on his Hulk Hogan shit the whole time. Like really on some disrespectful shit. Like they are talking about like there was so when Cody threw that out there, it was just like I think Austin already know. He just waiting for his moment. Am I bugging? Or I feel like Austin already like halfway there. Like
I think you on it. You just waiting for that, like that assurance, that real, like, damn, that was a real slime move you did, Grayson. Now I could really get my licks back on you. But I think he's keeping mental notes of everything. It's the right time. What's the right time for Austin? You know what I'm saying? We shall see.
You wanna
I
know
think
my favorite part about this segment all in all was? Once again, Debbie is a master at these. The video package describing every single one of KO's turns in chronological order,
yep.
dating back even to one of our personal favorites, the ending of the Festival of Friendship.
I was surprised they showed that. Not gonna lie.
So was I. That's why. That's why my favorite because I did not think they were going to incorporate that.
Yeah, they showed Chris Jericho on the screen. Showed how Kevin Owens basically turned on all the people he was messing with. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston, Sami Zayn again. It was pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. At first, the music
And
was off, but I had to
I
let
thought
it.
I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I had to let it sit, and then I started to laugh at it. Like, nah, this is real. Grayson Waller trolling at his highest.
And not even that. It tied into something that KO said not long after, where he says, "In my defense, everybody but Kofi had it coming."
Yeah, pretty much. Which is what you were saying about how you felt Cody would antagonize Kevin at the pay per view. But I feel like this little like bringing that out of Kevin Owens. I told you this last week. I'm not in favor of that. You know what I'm saying? This whole little like, I just need him to be the prize fighter. Kevin Owens is the prize fighter. We're gonna get
Well, as we saw later in the show, it seems like Cody is poking that bear, but he's doing it in a "I'm gonna do it once you turn away, but I'm gonna make sure you see it as you're turning away."
y'all
And
ain't
even
find that
KO's looking.
crazy that he even attempted to do some of that sort after the Grayson Waller put out that video package of it.
that who ain't do something, Cody.
Yeah, like Grayson Waller showed that video package of KO being a slime bag. And then we seen what happened. I just found it crazy how on the same day they did that, he really showed like a little, you know what I mean?
And then a few moments later, right, Kevin Owens comes out and then they set up the tag match for later. He asked Nick Aldis, yo, can I run in the ring and hit him in the face? Yeah, make it quick, right? And then when they go to attack,
I've never seen that, by the way. I've never seen niggas do that. Nick Aldis make it quick. Like, what's that about?
I
If I
find
was
it kind of
Austin
funny
Theory,
too.
Grayson Waller,
Be
I'm running
weak.
that nigga next week. If I was Austin and we running down on him.
Where he just threw A-Town down under the bus, right? Like, yeah, go ahead, you can get
Word.
just make it
But
quick.
I know we're gonna match and all that. I know you said I gotta be cool. Can I get him this one time? Hurry up.
I thought it was different, so I gave them a little effort. Like, all right, cool. I see y'all trying to go to different. It ultimately ended in the same shit, right? Little scrap in the ring, tag team for later, but they try to set it up differently. So I was like, nah, this is funny. This is a little funny beginning right here. But if I'm not
That,
mistaken,
that
Kevin
was that was one of those. I said that's one of the triplets in the back saying, "Hey, you want to see something funny? Nick, KO, go do this real quick."
switched it up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Owens ended up misfiring and hitting Cody, right? And that opening segment. So like then we get Cody, like you said, saying he ain't really do nothing. He's just like, oh damn, I got rocked by this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where they going with it. Well, we got one more SmackDown before Berlin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next week. We see. Maybe at the PLE, like you called, but I'm gonna call Friday. I feel Friday we get an extra a little a little more anger out of one of these.
It'll get a little saucy on Friday.
Yeah, something spicy might happen between them. But yeah, after that, right there, then we get into LA Knight cutting the promo right before his match, heading to the ring versus Santos Escobar. Yeah, I think we kind of a little misfired on this razor. We had Santos maybe pulling out a victory here. I'm not
If it
gonna
didn't
lie.
start the way it did, I would have stuck by that. But because it started the way it did, it's like, oh fuck, here we go.
Right. Once the band from ringside started happening and it became a one-on-one clear, I was like, yeah, LA Knight gonna walk out of this clean. Like, there's no way that I mean, unless Santos still went dirty, but I didn't see it happening. I felt like LA Knight was walking out of there, which he did. How'd y'all feel about that match?
I ain't gonna lie. One thing I will say, I get why Santos is like in heavy rotation. Like his presentation, his entrance theme, and all that is fire.
Yo, his
He,
team is
like,
fire. I ain't
he
gonna
got a
lie.
presence. He got a presence about him. You know what I mean? I understand why he's in rotation. Like I think he's gonna have a moment coming where he's gonna have his time. He's been putting in a lot of work if we really keep it a beam. From the Rey Mysterio shit, all the way he's been putting in pain. You know what I mean? Kind of like Liv Morgan before she got her big. You know what I mean? Like Santos' moment is coming. I like what he's doing. I ain't gonna lie.
Now it looked like later on in the show they showed Santos Escobar getting teased by Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. So it looked like they're gonna set them back
Well,
up.
let's touch on what happened before Cruising Baron got in.
Mhm.
Otto was ripping in on dude. Like
Say that again.
you were being useless to me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yup, yup,
He,
yup.
he was going in. So could we possibly see more dissension with among these factions?
I
I
mean,
mean, reason why I go down that road is we know Penta and Phoenix are coming soon. Maybe end of this year, could we see the Lucha Bros with Santos and Carrillo and Garza are off doing something else?
I wouldn't even be mad at that. I mean, didn't Santos Escobar put his mask on in NXT for one time in the NXT PLE? Like, you know what I'm
A
saying?
takeover.
It could give him reason to bring that back with them. And with I don't want to say it's an upgrade, but I feel like the way you can use Phoenix and
We
Penta.
call it okay because you're putting him with a more accomplished tag team with guys that can also be still guys on their own. And much like Santos, Phoenix is very fluent in English as well.
Yeah, Humberto was like the weird one to me because he kind of came in during that like pandemic, right before the pandemic era. He was like
That
mad.
weird NXT spot that he was on Raw for a minute. Yeah, he's like a second, third generation guy, but it's like he's not really showing much.
Yeah, Angie Garza, I thought he was good on his own with the whole taking the pants off, throwing it at them gimmick. Like, that's real heel tactics. So like, I mean, I don't know what they like got in mind for them, but I wouldn't be mad if they broke them up either. But it looked like that was gonna set them up right there. But you know what I was just saying after that LA Knight and Escobar match, we see Carmelo Hayes sitting in his it looked like a barbershop for a second. Or at least when I
Mm-hmm.
glanced, I mean it looked like a barbershop to me.
That same barbershop where Cruz getting his head waxed at the PLE.
Yeah, I told y'all this shit gonna be one of them Jones that like that last on like this feud
Yeah,
with
this might be a best
Andrade.
of seven.
And it,
Right.
yo, bro, they've been showcasing the hell out of each other's skill sets. Like their chemistry is amazing. Y'all gotta keep it real.
Would y'all be mad if this rivalry resulted in them ending in a tag team with each other like the Bar did when Sheamus and Cesaro went at it?
I need them at Bad Blood fighting it out for that. You know what I mean? For that last time. But they ain't gonna be at Berlin. But they need to
Well,
get them in.
they've been teasing the best of seven. We're gonna go into match 4 whenever they duke it out next week.
Right.
So
Wait, who's up right now? Andrade still, right?
it's 2-1 right now.
Okay, so yeah, Carmelo get one more, then we can make it interesting.
I really
But there
enjoyed that
gotta be some
conversation.
sort of incentive with that, like you know what I mean? Like the winner gets a title shot or something, you know what I mean? Where it's worth it.
Well, they both got a bone to pick with LA Knight, so that could be a thing down the road, maybe closer to War Games.
What y'all thought to LA Knight presentation with the US title so far?
I mean, he's just
Look at HD. HD put that look of like
Was
eh.
not blinking on that. Let it out. Let it out.
They gave him a little
this
bit
is
of
no
steam with the
disrespect. This is no disrespect to LA Knight. But it's like for 2 weeks in a row since he won, they had him come out to the ring. Well, once to the ring and then second at the stage just to cut promos. And then we see the match this week involve shenanigans. They made him look, I guess they made him look strong because he went through the attack, still finished the match and disposed of Santos. What I'm really interested about is who's going to be his mystery opponent in Berlin.
Now, was that confirmed in Berlin? Because if so, we're going to have more than 5, 6 matches on the card. Unless it's a
Yeah,
pre-show
They
match.
added the tag team match, the tag team titles for the women on that joint.
I said, unless they're incorporating the pre-show matches too with this match that we got to close up the show. Which was possible, but I don't know.
yeah, because he was in the backstage saying that he's issuing an open challenge for Berlin. Who's ever willing to step up? Now, I think if you give us somebody really unexpected and he takes care of them, then I'm like, all right.
Can I do a quick segue to this while Snake's still found? So get his fumes going back up.
Hit him
I'm
up.
I'm, I'm ripping the band-aid off. Snakes, we may have lost him.
Okay.
Word on the street, Ricochet has signed with All Friends Wrestling.
Oh my lord. Hey, I just want to say this, Ricochet.
It's
That's a
not, no,
money
it's not
move.
confirmed. It's not confirmed yet. Fivefold broke the story out. Was it yesterday, HD?
Yeah,
I
yesterday.
just want to
Yeah,
say
yesterday.
this. I just want to say this. Ricochet, like this. All right, that's a money move for Samantha. Because I'm gonna be real. You make it on your job, my brother. Samantha's
That
becoming
back
more of
better be
a
fat.
and Samantha becoming more of a star in this shit than you, my nigga. I'm gonna just keep it a bean.
That
But
bag better be fat.
just another wasted talent going to AEW. I just want to say this, Mercedes Monet, how you doing? CEO, that shit it ass. Nobody cares. Let's keep it a bean. Sasha just buried herself.
Let's go down
She
that
over there
roster
and
for
buried
AW
herself.
folks. For Mercedes to Samoa Joe to Cesaro to where the fuck is Nero? This weekend is supposedly going to be Danielson's last match. Now again, he's had a great career, but every match we've seen him in for the majority of his tenure there, he's gotten hurt, and now by the end of this year, he has to have a neck surgery to replace what the doctors fixed for him in WWE 10 years ago. So was it really the move? The only guys who haven't floundered entirely are Swerve and Moxley. Moxley somehow survived. Swerve, he's built his brand, and Tony Khan has done nothing to benefit him. Look at FTR for crying out loud. They're dead in the water right now. Dax is blocking folks out left and right on Twitter because they criticize AEW because they cherish what FTR, the revival, used to be. And don't even get me started on Jericho.
Yo, you could work as hard as you want sometimes, but what's meant for you is meant for you.
Facts.
Like it is what it is. Like we see Mr. Ass, Daddy Ass, whatever they want to call him now, with the Acclaimed. Who would have knew that he would have took off like that? Like that's just it's magic.
And then again, with the Acclaim, what they could have been, maybe even a year ago, 18 months ago, definitely maximum. That was the number one tag team that they had.
Wait. Let's not give AEW too much light right now.
Oh no, I'm gonna show them right now. I'm gonna say, look, at one point you had
Acclaim and Mr. Ass, and I ain't gonna lie. I will say this.
At one point, they were booked as the guys, and then Tony Khan got bored of them, and they
I do like what Billy Gunn and them is doing. I do like that little thing going on. I think that
him and his sons and shit.
Yeah, I think that shit is fire as fuck. And yo, when they came out with the 50 Cent theme, I thought that shit was the coldest shit in wrestling.
Bro, that was crazy.
I thought
that was made up.
Man. Woo, that was different.
Yeah, like that was crazy.
But then again, look at the Guns. Imagine how much better they'd be when they're in NXT. Give them 3 to 6 months of NXT. It's a wrap.
You don't think ultimately like that's where all their goals are? Like their
most definitely.
Their dream is to, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but then again, look at Buddy Murphy. He was begging to get out of his contract. Tony Khan says, write any number on this check, it is yours.
But like
he begged this man to not leave.
Like Razor be saying though, this is their version of cutting the teeth though. Like the Guns, I remember them performing on the Jericho cruise, right? Like they did in these events, they was out there working. So you know what I'm saying? Like they said too, this is their way to get to the WWE. Some people, but the ones that like are leaving WWE to go to AEW, that's the part I'm not really like I always said, WWE's main stage, bro. I never heard somebody leave the main NBA team to go to the G League and be like, yeah, I want to play for the Salt Lake City Lakers.
But then again, in this G League, you could be the new kid on the block and make Roman Reigns money out the gate if you kiss the boss's ass.
You feel me? Like, yeah.
I mean, Sasha Banks swears, or Mercedes Moné claims that she would have been at WrestleMania last year back in WWE, but she wanted to be the highest paid woman in wrestling, even though she'd been out with a broken foot. She cried to Tony Khan. Tony Khan says, I'll pay you whatever the fuck you want.
I'm not gonna lie. That's why people started getting released in WWE in the first place. Like they started giving everybody $5 million contracts. Then you're not living up to $5 million contract. It's like it's the same. It's a sports contract. Like they throw you this $30 million a year contract. You're not living up to that. They're gonna trade you. It's just there's no trading. Yeah, there's no trading in wrestling. It was just it's evaluation. It's okay. You're not drawn. Like we can have the same person in the slot you in, and we're gonna be in the same spot financially. Like that's what they really looking at. Like Dijak said on his interview, right when he was on his way out, they evaluated me based on, well, we got this NXT. He's on the main roster contract. We got him on NXT going back and forth. Like we don't really need that. That's not really. And imagine the people that are negotiating higher contracts. Like imagine, and that's how.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing in Dijak's case. They signed him initially based on what he could become. Yet when he went to NXT and the main roster back and forth, it's the same thing as what he was doing in the Indies. Whatever his feast your eyes gimmick is supposed to be. Okay, yeah, you're a big ass dude. How are you separating yourself from the pack? Because mind you, by the time they got him, They got Keith Lee. They still got Big E running around. You still got Brock coming and going on the main roster. You got the dudes from War Machine or Viking Raiders now, Eric. You got all these big dudes that are extremely athletic. You're a big dude too. What makes you different from everybody else?
Yeah. And then easily we could see that whenever the company wants, they could slow your steam down, right? Like you get over with the crowd and they can easily shelf you.
To humble you sometimes.
Again, there's always gonna be somebody that they could put in that spot. The wheels keep going. So again, like I'm gonna stand on what I said. The people that leave WWE that go to AEW in search of, I don't know what they're searching for, but I think like what's meant for you is meant for you. There's very them few cases, like you said, Moxley, Swerve. I mean, I
And
look at
that's
all
it.
the important AEW champions. They were from WWE, minus MJF.
Now, the reason why I don't consider Tony Storm a WWE person per se, even though she did have a pretty good career there as well, much like Chelsea Green now, when she was there, plagued by injuries. So never got to truly see her shine. By the time she could have shined there, Juice Robinson was in Japan, likely going to AEW soon, so she probably said, all right, babe, I'll meet you there. Juice Robinson, another guy that walked from WWE back in the days because he don't want. This is during the time where Vince was purging the NXT roster, and he didn't want what Vince wanted to do, want him to be. And look at him now.
So you think Ricochet gonna show up at AEW? That's the word around town.
He'll have the match with Osprey. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. He'll probably have a good match with Swerve as well. But after that, aside from Pac, who is there? Who else is going to match what Ricochet can do and do it well? Now, doing it all right and doing it well are two different things. Who's going to have to do it well? Who's going to have to look clean and crisp? Don't you dare put that man in the ring with Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. Don't put him in there with Jungle Boy. You might get away with Nick Jackson. You might get away with maybe Action and Drager or do it from Top Flight, but again, it's a very slim list of who could probably have a solid match with Ricochet at a top level. I don't even think Jack could pull it off.
I think it's more or less something you've been saying months ago. Ricochet's going there to face Will Ospreay. So I may have a miss right here, but I'm calling MJF is bringing Ricochet to Wembley to help and assist MJF retain that American Championship, and that sets up Ricochet versus Ospreay.
That's too logical even for Tony Khan. That makes too much sense. What'll likely happen is they'll have the match, and after the match, they'll have the stare down. They'll play the music, and that'll be it. Because that's what he's done for everybody.
Not the music and the stare down.
You'll see the random video package. Everyone's gonna know who it is, especially if Osprey's out there in the ring already. Everyone's gonna know. And Tony Schiavone will be, oh, this is an unexpected surprise. It's King Ricochet. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Like, you could make it special, but that's too much work for them to do. Now, you could put him in the Casino Battle Royal at the start of the show, but I think that's a pre-show match, and that might do more harm than good for both sides if you have them on YouTube but not on the pay-per-view. But they did that with Matt Sydal.
Yeah, I'm lost. If they don't go that route, I mean, what they could do is the obvious shit where it looks like he's gonna help Will Ospreay defeat MJF, and then he turns on him on a random episode of Rampage or some shit.
Also, I don't know. I don't know how do you make Ricochet a heel unless I don't know how you even pull that off.
I'll be right back, fellas.
All right.
I think,
All right.
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
how do you even get that off? And I mean, they'll probably have Don Callis bring him out and do something like that. But there's a few ways they can do it that'll work great, but there's hundreds of ways to where it either comes off as nah or it comes off as that was corny and stupid.
Uh, I want to get back into the SmackDown though, because I'm looking at my notes over here. The next match, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Blair Davenport, right? 6-woman tag
Versus the
match.
big three.
Dude, I love their outfits too, by the way. Simone Biles inspired. You know what I'm saying? Definitely fire. Do you think I feel like the presentation that they have for Alba Fire, Aladon, and Blair Davenport, like they already got the graphics on the screen for their name a certain way, one with fire, one with ice, and like you know, I just
Mm-hmm.
do you more the effort that they putting in for them, or do you think the talent has a part in that? Like,
I'm sure it's all the above because I'm sure they're putting some input on it because they've always deemed Isla Dawn Alba Fire like that fire and ice tandem already. And they've hinted that Blair has like this dark goth appeal about her. So I'm sure it's all hands on deck with that. I just wish it's the same for Jade and Bianca at least. Like they've been the teaming for what since Mania, damn near, maybe longer than that.
right?
And it's just the you get your music, and then you come out to your music. So
And
that
then
tells me you don't really have any plans or you don't care about this tag team.
it's like you don't see a variation of character from them because they kind of both they strong women, right? Like that's what they pride
And
themselves.
and that's just it. They're strong, athletic women.
That's why I think
But
like the presentation of Fire and Dawn, like you said, they got that fire and ice vibe to it. It makes them different. But when they come together though, they got like a same kind of go and
they're
vibe to
matching gear too.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just wish I seen a little bit more out of the big three, Naomi, Jade, and Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like there's
Agreed.
just something missing. I can't point my finger on it, but
You're
I
gonna
think
hate me for saying this. It's very the way they come off is very Vince McMahon esque. It's bland. It's like it's unseasoned food.
yeah, like I want somebody to have the initiative and not to say, "Oh, I'm better than my teammates," but to still stand on like on their character, like have your
Mm-hmm.
character show some flair or something. Like I don't know. That's what it is for me. I feel like you saying like they're a little too bland. They too nice. They too smiley. Especially Jade. What I loved from her when I seen in AEW wasn't that at all. So for me, this is a new Jade that I gotta kind of get accustomed with right here.
Also, look
More
how
comedy.
Bianca started NXT. Just this overly confident, athletic girl. Like I'm the fastest. I'm the strongest. I'm the best at everything. What happened with that?
Yeah, they kind of just went away from that, and yeah, she's still the EST, but it's really not emphasized in the
Now
promos.
it's just a
And
name.
yeah, the ESC. When it come WrestleMania time, it's a good way to put EST in WrestleMania.
Yeah, it shouldn't just be a once a year thing though.
I agree with you there. I mean, like, I think all six of those ladies definitely on the right path. I think Blair Davenport of the Mall, to me, her rise along with Jade's, but like her rise has been a
I
very
want to see
impressive.
more of Blair.
Yeah. I think she could do well. It looks like she could do well on either brand, right? Like you see how they paired Lyra up with Katana Chance and Caden Carter, and like it felt like, oh, why they doing that? I didn't have that same feeling with Blair. Like as soon as they paired her with Alba Fire and all of it was like a no brainer. Like okay, yeah, I see why. It yeah, it makes sense.
But honestly, I'd want to see Blair for the time being on NXT for this reason only. You also have Stephanie Backer and Julia and Delta coming on board, who all four of them with Blair respectively ran a more physical style when they were down in Stardom, much similar to where Asuka was at her prime. We're just that stand in the middle of the ring. We're gonna be as physical like the men, and we can all take an ass up like the men. So that collection right there in NXT is a very refreshing palate cleanse for what we've seen currently in NXT with the athletic women of Sol Ruka, of Jada Parker, Kelani Jordan, like that. It's a whole different tandem down there to where we now have a group of women that are extremely athletic and a group of women that will just stand and bang.
Mm-hmm. So I see why you want her down there. I mean, if they could find ways like they've been doing with Michin to have her go down there and spar with them, then why not? You know what I mean? Like, I would also like to see Blair Davenport when she's done with this feud she's in with Naomi. Because I can only imagine Naomi picking up the victory over her tonight is only gonna add more fire to their fuel. You know what I'm saying? Or fuel to their fire, I should say. You know what I'm saying?
How imagine this match in a couple years: Blair Davenport, Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Money.
That's going to be box office in a couple years.
Hell yeah. And depending where character development is at when they meet, I would have Rhea there. But if Blair is coming along like she is now, she might be ready enough to go over on Rhea at that moment.
I wouldn't go that far just yet, but again, I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's why like there got to be some development there because for me, like when Rhea Ripley took on Charlotte Flair the first time when she came in as a face against Charlotte, I knew she was gonna have like she needed to have more of a darker side, and but she went on that
But
Lonnie
it
run.
was definitely a solid benchmark for her.
Yeah, definitely at WrestleMania. Come on, can't beat that. So, I mean, I think like it's again, just double down. Them ladies are good in the future. Just want to see a little bit more out of Jade, Bianca. I feel like we've seen her at the top of the hill. So I'm not really like, I'm not worried about her so much. Jade coming in though. Yeah, that's all it is. After that though, this is the moments of the nights of SmackDown that I honestly say I wait for. I wait for the bloodline content. The bloodline, right?
I
Nothing wrong with it.
mean, can't be mad at that.
The bloodline comes out. I'm starting like at first, I always wanted to feel like, maybe the group should need their own music. I've grown accustomed to like solos music. You know what I'm saying? It's at first I
I'm
was like,
okay with that because then by even back to the Roman is like they followed the leader.
right.
They all came
That's
to
how,
Roman's
yeah.
music. They're all coming to Solo's music. But
hmm
this is a very fascinating segment.
It definitely was like the demeanor of Solo tonight. You could tell he was really pissed off about what transpired last week. He goes in and immediately says the OTC is DONE. Done. And he also puts claim on to say that he's coming for the undisputed universal championship.
He
Whoever
said, "I
wins,
got next."
I got next. He don't care who wins. Cody, Kevin Owens, he got next. That was one. That item one. That was item for me. That was interesting.
Oh, there's a few items that were very interesting to me.
Solo then says there's something wrong with the tag titles.
Item two.
Whew. That was enough right there for him to say that to make me start thinking a bunch of shit. Then he got right into it. He tells Jacob to step up. You see Tama Tonga, he looks
Like,
like.
what the fuck's going on over here?
And you've said this many times. Tama Tonga is supposed to be the right-hand man, but we're going to get into it. He then tells him to hand the title over. That moment, I was like, wait, he's like, he want to be the tag team champion? And yo, Jacob's face when he says that was like, you seen a little bit of resiliency at first, but then
I was wondering if you catch up to that or not.
Yeah, he gave in like a little bit, like, and I felt that though, because that's like, imagine everybody wants to win the championship, no matter how much of a beast you are, right? You got this, you defending it, you the reason why we got this. So now I gotta just give it up. And then he says, matter of fact, give it to Tonga Loa. That part, I at that moment, I felt like he was trolling, but then he gave a reason behind it. How you gonna be a tag team champion when I need you as my special enforcer? So I'm like, all right, he needs him as the personal enforcer. What does that mean going forward, right? Like, he just stripped him of his, and he still had to ensure that the bloodline kept the titles tonight.
Because again, before he was the enforcer, now he's Solo's personal enforcer.
Personal enforcer. Oh.
Now, like I said from Jump Street, Tama Tonga, that's a cat that if you're good to him, he's good to you. You piss him off once, you give him any reason to doubt you, well, that trust is jaded and gone. And he gonna sleep with both eyes open. And again, like we touched on before, could the Rock be put back behind this bloodline? Is Solo acting rogue? Tune in, kids.
And I also felt like Solo did something different. I could be wrong, but I've never seen Roman strip one of the champions, which were the Usos.
Never.
Or Sami Zayn, and say, I need you, you know, or even when Solo had the North American Championship for a second, they made him drop it because he's on the main.
The only thing he did was when the Usos lost the tag titles, he said, no, me and Solo got next. We'll get the belt back to the family.
So I thought that was very telling in that moment of the segment, because there was I was also listening to the items, but also reading the body language of Jacob, reading the body language of Tama Tonga. Tonga
Seeing
Low,
their eyes.
Seeing their eyes, right.
Well, Tonga Low wasn't very like I said, the two keys in this are Jacob and Tama, because they're two very outspoken, exuberant personalities, respectfully. You're going to see on their face long before you see it on Tonga Loa's, maybe even before you see it on Roman or Paul Heyman's face, because, like they say in Scarface, the eyes, Chico, the eyes never lie. So,
like Tonga out there trolling. He continued to troll for us. He accepted the championship with smiles and laughter, and he proceeded to hold it in the same way he did before.
Because he knows the internet's going to talk about it. He's doing stuff and no one else doing right now.
Also, though, the crowd in Washington were on his body when Solo said to hand over the title to Tonga Loa. They were chanting, "You can't wrestle." They were going crazy on the men. I don't think that's fair treatment. I also like if it was a move by Trips to, like, he sees the chatter online and this is the way to silence it. Like, nah, we need to get, like, he could do some funny stuff that'll have people talking, but we need to get.
But they're gonna keep him talking. That's the engagement right there. And also, again, if there's meant to be healed, all right, let him go do his shit. He's supposed to be hated anyways. But again, once he gets that mojo back, and we saw some of it tonight. That boy nice in there.
I
Let
mean,
him get his
even
sea legs.
you hear the commentators, doing their best to talk him up, and I felt like they did a good job about, they probably went a little crazy with he's the muscle of the team. Obviously, we see Jacob is the werewolf, but like they did their best to still give him credibility and remind us. And like you said, they was out there going. I didn't see no, in my eyes, I could have missed something, but I didn't see no hiccups in the match. I thought everything was like, even to the moment where Dawkins hit Tamatunga into Tongaloa, I'm thinking, oh, maybe they were supposed to break the barricade, and here comes fucking Montez Ford flying over the turnbuckle. So I was like, oh nah, everything's going as planned. You know what I'm saying? Because it had that one little moment where they looked at Solo and he's jaw jacking, like, what, do it again. You know what I'm saying? And then you just see Montez fly over the top and he just flattened both of them. I was like, man,
But again,
it was
but
a great
just the
match.
Street Profits and the Gorillas, those four have incredible chemistry. For folks that just met each other,
The little things. After the match, I seen Tamatunga give Dawkins a pat on the head, like whatever they
I,
do.
I see you.
Yeah, he gave him a little like good shit, bro. Like I was like, nah, that's fire right there, because Dawkins is the one that out of the Street Profits that everybody always saying he need to improve his game, step up, do this, do that, and
Mhm.
he's getting the recognition from his peers.
He's trying. He's
Yeah,
trying his
he is.
damnedest to keep up.
No, and I give it to Dawkins because every time he's out there, you don't hear him much on the promos, but even like when they came out and cut the promo before the match, I felt everybody was hitting. Hell, even B Fab, I enjoyed her tonight with them.
And that's the first for me.
Yeah, she sounded confident tonight. Like somebody must have gave her the talk. Like, yo, just be you, talk. Like, go ahead. And tonight, I believe that she's like, she came out, talked her shit. Montez followed, Dawkins finished, and profits are up, and we want the smoke. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, I'm invested, and I know it's gonna be a good match. And also to telling of the match, Jacob still had to help them win the match, even though he's Solo's personal enforcer.
Now again, not saying the Gorillas couldn't have won on their own, but down the road when we see some possible dissension, I'm sure Thomas probably taking notes, saying, "Hey, we had this. You said he's
Why?
your personal enforcer. We got this right here."
Yeah, why'd you make that call? You thought we were in trouble? Thought we
He'll
were
say,
in
"I'm the
deep
right
water?
hand. I'm the right hand man. Do you not trust me?" So we got to
I
keep an
thought
eye on maybe.
I thought that match was fire right there. I was surprised that I thought this would have closed out SmackDown, but I guess when we, got the main event of Cody and Kevin Owens, I guess you got to put the champion in the main event. I guess.
Well, also they did know earlier that Cody and KO was going to be the main event too.
Okay.
I wasn't a big fan of that.
Yeah, I said it
I
last week.
get
I'm
why
more
they
invested
did
into
it.
Bloodline stuff.
Yeah, I get why they did it because they're trying to put some importance on the Cody KO match, but it's like folks really weren't fucking with it to begin with.
No, oh man, yeah. I mean, how can I go into Berlin and think that Cody's gonna beat, or I mean that Kevin Owens is gonna beat Cody? Where do we do? Like, where do we go now? Do we go into Kevin Owens versus Solo? Like,
Well, again, you probably could, and then yeah, solo squash KO, but yeah, I don't know. This is a weird one for me.
yeah. So I'm not really a fan of that right there. But also after the match, DIY attempted to come out and help the Street Profits.
I'm over them. I'm over them.
I knew somebody was gonna come help. Like it had that vibe to it. Like it had that vibe. Like okay, this is running a little longer than their music hits. They come
We
down.
are.
We are. They was about to. They did get some offense off on Tama and Tonga. Then they miraculously got Jacob out of the ring, sidestepping. Got some offense in on Solo. Then things went downhill from there. Jacob got a hold of Johnny Wrestling from outside. Yeah, it was bad times after that. It was over for DIY.
There was a
Mr.
chomper that got all those Samoan spikes.
Yeah, mission accomplished. The bloodline stood standing tall.
I mean, do we
Anybody
expect anything else?
I didn't
So,
expect anything. So.
and here's the thing, especially with this story. I mean, now we've been talking about this for a minute now. Everybody knows that at some point in time, Jimmy and Jay are going to be reunited with Roman. We all can anticipate that clear as day. The crowd wants them to start that process. But again, do you wait for Roman to make the first move? Do you wait for Paul to make the first move? When do we see potentially a Hikuleo or a Zilla? And I get it, you have all the time to do it, but does it always have to be DIY and the Street Profits? Is there more? There's got more we can do with this bloodline than this.
Right.
Like, and again, this is a testament to how thin this tag team division has become. Raw's no better. So
Yeah.
was splitting the belts up the right move? Now I'm leaning towards probably not.
I think it is, but you need to commit to the tag team division. You can't have again to me teams like AOP shouldn't be just losing. They were running rampant in NXT.
Well, let's go back SmackDown. You know the tag team out there is Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
And then on Raw you have Awesome Truth, you have the New Day, the Authors of Pain, and Judgment Day.
Additionally,
Whereas NXT you have OTM, you have Chase U. Who else? You have Gallus. Like,
I think the problem with SmackDown is that like when you got a tag team like the Bloodline, they're just too dominant, in my opinion, right? Like who do you like you've been asking, who do we have to combat that? I mean, it's not like they out there facing a team like the AOP or the Creed brothers for it to really be like a I'm not, and this no disrespect to the Street Fighter, like they still put on a great match, but just to give us something different, like you said, we got, and then on Raw they got the same issue. So it's like you take away those tag teams from there, they got less tag teams, but they again those are tag teams, two tag teams right there that I think are great in the ring and can be believable champions. Their characters might they need work, yes, they need
which
promo work.
brand do you throw Gallus on?
At SmackDown,
I agree. Yeah,
they
you
look
get
they
much more mileage out of them because I mean, yeah, the match up he'll be fine, but something about Gallus and Bloodline that's got some miles on it. You could even do something with. I would love something with Wolfgang and Jacob.
I feel like on Raw they'll get lost in the shuffle fighting like Otis and Tozawa, the Creed brothers, just like random stuff over there. I mean, even Humberto and Angel, if they really wanted to make them serious as a tag team, they had a chance. Pretty deadly. They had a chance to make them somewhat like I don't know what's up with Pretty Deadly either. Like, are you a face tag team that just lose matches? Are you a heel team that just can't win? Like, I don't.
They're a heel tag team that the crowd took a liking to because it was so damn funny. Now, again, nothing wrong with that, but again, now at some point should do another draft, you have all the physical guys on one brand and more of the small guys on another brand. Well, would
Cause
that
this,
bounce off the tag teams, or do you still need the melting pot?
cause these are tag teams that we bring up before. Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker. They was in the same time with them in their NXT.
Well, I mean, what was the reason behind breaking up Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser?
I'm not gonna lie. Vinci looked like he gonna get fired in 3 months doing what he doing with that shit.
It's the gimmick he came up to NXT with, so you might be right.
Like I'm not convinced. Like even when I went back and watched some old NXT stuff, and I was like, and it's just like you said, bland. Like that whole little like fancy Italian. Ludwig pulls off the fancy stuff better because he got more of like an asshole cadence to him. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a more punchable face. His face screams douchebag, asshole, prick.
And then unfortunate for Giovanni, if Cesaro was there, what separates them? Like I would rather have Cesaro. Y'all both look like. I mean,
Yeah, he. I'd be surprised if he makes it to the end of the year.
yeah, like he's not. I don't think he's a singles competitor for real. Like I don't know. I
No,
may be
no,
not
again,
giving him a chance.
I would love to be wrong, but the jury's not in his favor right now.
That's who's gonna. Oh no, bro! That better not be who challenges fucking LA Knight at Berlin.
I was just going to talk about the U.S. picture. I was just thinking that.
I mean, I'd admit though, I'm not gonna lie. With his move set, it will be fire though. It will be fire. I can't like take away this whole.
I don't.
They're gonna get into that springboard bag. He gonna do that little shit he do off the ropes, the springboard, moonsault shit. LA gonna do his little nice little spring up to the corner. They going. They gonna put on a little exhibition one time, and then we out of here by the end of the year.
I'd rather see Pete Dunne, Trick Williams, hell, even Joe Hendry before I see Giovanni Vinci in that spot.
I'm not gonna lie, like he really got the Veer rollout right now. Like instead of saying Giovanni's coming, they saying Giovanni.
No. You know what this is? You remember, bro, Vladimir Kozlov?
Man, Kozlov. I remember him, the red trunks.
No music.
Then he switched to the white joints. I remember Cos. Yeah. That yo, I ain't gonna lie. I used to fuck with Ezekiel Jackson. I remember they was in a little tag team too. Like Ezekiel, I don't know why. I just really like I fucked with Ezekiel Jackson. Then I think I seen him in Lucha Underground. I'm like, nah, and you went. I was like, and you went here too, like.
Oh, I don't know if I said this to you. Some dude who I haven't seen or heard the name in probably 20 years. You remember a dude named Kenzo Suzuki?
Yep.
During the Dr. Tatnawi John Cena days?
Mm-hmm.
He pulled up at Triple Mania this past weekend. So you got him, Mark Jindrak.
That They bringing out the classics, bro. All we need is what's buddy that used to be Matt Morgan. We need Matt Morgan back out here.
I
Like
think he's long retired now.
he like a governor or something now. So he in the politics
Yeah,
too. Now.
he's in politics.
Yeah. Nah, that's good though. I like when people get they like I don't know what I was watching. Oh, I think it was NWA. Bro, I didn't even know the Insane Clown Posse was gonna put on a fire match like that, bro.
Oh yeah, no, because them and Billy Corgan, they're like this.
That little match was fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised. I was surprised. Cause it felt like I don't ever like to say rip-offs of this and that. Like obviously it's a spin on a hardcore style of a match with a name to it, right? Boom. I took it for what it was. Seeing all the popcorn and all the fun stuff, I was just like, yo, nah. This is the little fun shit that like that right there. Instead of all the crazy shit AEW be doing, like that little fun spot, it would have been fun on AEW. Done right.
Again, if done right is the
Right,
key.
if done right. Yep.
Whereas if AEW would have did it, you would have saw titties flying everywhere, and you would have saw Nick Gage and the Pizza Boy come pull up out the stands.
For sure. You would have had a blood fest out there.
You had a mosh pit in there.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's some good stuff out there. It's just if I think, like I said, what's meant for you is what's meant for you. Like, you can't force you as much as you want to force feed. Like, I feel like Swerve Strickland's run to me it was organic. He called his shot. Yo, I want to be the first
Mm-hmm.
Black American champion. You know what I'm saying? And he went
Oh,
set his moves out. You don't just say that and
speaking.
don't work out and work in the ring and it's just handed to you, right? Like he every day since that moment he said that, even before leading up to that, he know what he wanted and he worked for it. Now, some people like Hangman Page, you tried to force feed us to him and you got him with this fucking porn stash out there, and it's like, bro, I don't know, like,
Looking like Dax Harwood with some hair.
yeah, bro, like, feel like you're a naughty cowboy, you heard, Hangman? Naughty cowboy, bro, like. So is it? I don't know. Like some people just it's the remember what we used to say about Roman, how they used to feel about him, or even Drew McIntyre in the early run. Whenever you're anointed that guy, or anointed is like Sammy Guevara, the fans revel like went against him because like they force fed him instead of just letting him be.
Mm-hmm.
It's just again, I'm gonna say if
Look
it's
at
left,
Orange Cassidy.
that shit is that shit dry now. That shit's a fucking that shit's a
Orange
dry.
Orange Cassidy and Jericho are the only guys that to have been on every single AEW pay per view. The only two people.
I mean, Orange he's like their fucking John Cena, right? Like you just using
Well,
him.
was it, about 3 or 4 years ago, Matt Hardy said that he's Tony Khan's Undertaker.
No, brother. Like I could believe it though, like and trust and like I mean it's just
That's what he had meant. But at the time when he had stated it, everyone was like, "All right, Matt, go to bed."
yeah, like damn, you had to mention Taker in the same breath.
Yeah. Also, real quick, so one guy who possibly could now, if this ends up being the actual mystery challenger, I'd be all for it. And this is someone who states that they would love to come back and finish their career in WWE. Matt Cardona.
Hmm.
That arm's got to be healthy by now that he had surgery on.
You know what I agree with you. That would be dope. I wanted to mention this earlier because when it happened, because you got to remember too, LA Knight mentioned that right after Solo took the championship away from Jacob. So immediately my girl said, I think it's gonna be Jacob that challenges him. What the hell? I said, oh, you trying to You trying to get what? And then I started thinking, what if? Just what if?
Yeah, hold the phone.
What if the
Because
blood
again, Ellen is another dude who got beef with the bloodline.
and are they doing the SmackDown out of Berlin? Like, remember how all these overseas pay-per-views they've been doing the SmackDown out of the country? Do you know if the Friday SmackDown's in the States or
I want to say it is going to be in Berlin, so that's going to be what the 30th. Yeah, so
because what I'm thinking is, you know what I always say, if they in the town, I can bet my bottom dollar they gonna be at the PLE.
SmackDown will be in. Let's see.
And I gotta get my wifey some flowers because sometimes she be calling some shit that it might be right there to some people, it might not be. But like when I look at how they just placed it, why would they place LA Knight saying what he said after the blood? Now that may be looking into much into what she said, into what they did. But I thought it was very interesting. Also, it could be more interesting if Solo makes the call like, yo, actually, I want more gold in the bloodline. LA Knight said this while we was in the ring. Hold on. Yo, go get that US title, Jacob.
Yeah, it's going to be the same venue as the PLE.
Just saying. Solo could make the call. Yo, that could be his way of easing things up. I took away the tag team championship from you.
You're going to see this.
Cause remember that happened. LA Knight saying that happened while they were all at the ring. So it gives that wiggle room for now next week. Whatever they want to finesse there, they can finesse.
Just think. Jake gets the gold in Berlin. Solo gets the gold in Atlanta and Bad Blood. The closing scene is the bloodline is on top with all the gold.
That'd be more than what Roman did. Because Sammy never held the gold, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He held the tag team with no, no, because Jay didn't win with somebody,
When Roman had it, it was Roman had both belts and the Usos had both tag belts.
and then you just had Sammy and
Then
Solo.
Sammy came on board.
Hmm.
Solo came in with the North American belt.
But they took it away. So technically, Solo with gold, but still, he can say he led that version of the bloodline to all the gold on SmackDown. Brent, like, there's no more gold to capture here. Which I want us to do: go to Raw,
Mm-hmm.
fire the belts again. We just ununify them. This is the most we can do right now. Because that's the only thing Roman can say. He told the Usos when they was done with the blue ones to get the red ones, right? Like, all right, now go get the other ones. That was a massive move too in itself. Because I felt like if you didn't want to stranglehold all the belts with them at that time, but right now, I don't think the fan. If you give Jacob the United States Championship, I don't think nobody be mad. Chad, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. The comment section below. If Jacob wins the United States Championship in Berlin, are y'all mad? In
I
all
wouldn't
fairness,
be mad at it, but I wouldn't know how I feel either because you just put the belt on LA Knight.
that's the only part. That's the only part that's. But we got a few situations like that, right? So now, is everybody a successful defending champion? Like, all right, he just defended on SmackDown. You got one defense in, right? You got a defense in.
They won't let it go because of how long they let Logan Paul stay with the belt. Remember, these fans is fickle as fuck.
I'm not gonna lie, Jacob can hold it longer than that. For real. Like, let's say that he wins. What's Berlin next at the end of the month? Next
In
time
1 week.
he can still have the belt, barring injuries or anything crazy. Now, it'll be more like how Roman had it, where it'd be less title defenses. I don't think they'll, but he could still just go crazy. Even there's not as long though. How many days on? Nah, Logan had it for a whole year or 2 years. For like
Logan had it for like 9, 10 months damn near.
two, yeah. I thought he had it for a year. So he
He,
don't got it.
he was just under 300 days.
Yo, Baza, what's up, man? I see you out there. I appreciate you stopping by. We over here doing the podcast off the hit. Yes, sir. Talk about that good old SmackDown that just happened tonight. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Yeah, man. I mean, I would think it could be Jacob. If we don't go Jacob route, I wouldn't be mad either. But
Again, can you imagine that crowd in Berlin if we hear "Always Ready"? You go damn near seeing babies being made in that arena.
mm,
Or could it possibly be someone from NXT? Could it possibly be someone from TNA?
that shit it's gonna be interesting. Does it hurt LA Knight though if he lose the belt this quick?
Oh, it kills them.
Kills him.
I think it kills them.
To Jacob though, Jacob look like he running
To
through
anybody
everybody.
right now.
Mm,
To anybody right now, I bet it kills them.
mm.
Because think about it. He spent 3 years competing for that world title, close no cigar. He had all the back and forth for the US belt, close no cigar, only until this last SummerSlam. You gonna have him have one defense and then drop it? That would be the point of no return for him.
Keep it safe and throw Giovanni in there.
Yeah, you do that. Hmm. Again, I don't know. Uh,
Well, we gonna see with them. Right before the main event of Kevin Owens and Cody versus A-Town Down Under, we had Nia Jax backstage. Well, before Nia Jax got back there, it was Tiffy and Pretty Deadly. They were attempting to fix up.
no. Before that, we got another great video package talking about a match that had just been announced for next week's PLE. We're getting Meechin versus Nia Jax in a street fight
Yeah,
for the women's championship.
she was like in a little destruction room or something, right?
Yeah,
Little destroy room or something.
little
Like,
craft room.
yeah, she was out there having a little a release section. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that was different though.
Uh-huh.
Meechin definitely had a little different side. It was fire because she was basically talking on everything people told her not to be, told her what to be, and
What she'll never be.
what she'll never be, and she's letting us know what she gonna be, and that's herself. So I thought the promo was fire. You know what I'm saying? She gives us that little laughing kiss at the end. Meechin. The only thing is, I don't know if like why the Meechin name. I don't know if that's something she wanted WWE, but
I guess from what I researched, I guess that was a family nickname that they asked her for that. She just said, "Man, like it." I guess it means crazy in Korean or Filipino, one of the two, whatever she is.
so yeah. Nah, they setting that matchup though. Like you said, that video package got me a little bit more invested into their you know what I'm saying, they match. Because on one hand, it's always like I look at Michin like, oh damn, they gonna put her in this man. But I forgot she spanked her though, for real. So I'm looking at it like, okay, come Berlin, she might really spank Nia Jax somehow, and this might cause a little tiffy tease off the good
And
match.
dude, Chelsea Green touched on it
I like
because
how
her
they
and Papa were doing a little
stirring the pot.
bet- yeah. Like if that was me, I wouldn't let that happen. I'm just saying.
Chelsea's so funny too, cause she gonna act like she knew they was around the corner, and she gonna talk as if like she knew they weren't there,
She
right?
gonna
So that
drop that T anyways, giving zero fucks.
yeah,
That's what's great about her character.
nah, yeah, I love that little dynamic that they doing right there. And sometimes I don't know. I guess traditional tag teams aren't made how they used to be, or some people don't come up. They're not looking for tag teams, but like Piper Nivens and Chelsea.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes you stumble across stuff like this where you don't think it's gonna work, but somehow it's just magic.
It's magic. Yeah, I fuck with it. And Chelsea
But
Green, they slowed down on having her in the ring, but still find a way to feature her on TV. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
she's probably still seeing like five earlier after that damn table spot.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Remember that one?
But
But you see that video of her at live shows where she's got the male commentator trying to hit that high pitched Chelsea Green now.
oh yeah. I thought it was. I think just leave it up to Samantha Irvin. Like everybody put their hands.
That's that's the gimmick now with her. Everybody's got to do it now.
Okay, so everybody's gotta do it. All right, cool. I mean, if that's the gimmick with her and only her though, but yeah, anybody else that like if Samantha Irvin is unique for them.
If they'll hit that high note, she's having a redo until they get something like that. Then she will allow the match to start.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
here for it. That's funny.
yeah, okay. I didn't know that part. So yeah. So it's like a little rib on the male announcer then. Like you got to get
Yeah,
in on. Yeah, you got to get in on.
somebody's not going. My bad.
All right, cool. All right, chill. Yeah. So I guess that yeah, it's funny. It's cool. We got the main event: Kevin Owens and Cody versus A Town Down Under. Ah, it was a good match, but not the best. I'm not invested into what they got going on. Even the little tease at the end of the match. Like, I thought more
A
shit was
part,
gonna happen between the match.
a part of me wanted Kale to drill Cody in the back of the head with that belt.
Same. I can't argue that one bit. And to take it a step further,
But
when Cody felt away, I wanted Cody to do something to him.
but also the only saving grace of the segment was what Cody told KO as they're walking out to the ring. Just prepare for whatever happens and worry about it then. So it's like either you get me, I get you, whatever. I'll cross that bridge when we're there.
And I'm gonna be honest, it's unfair for me to probably compare it, but we've seen this story before. Shawn Michaels and Cena did it better, in my opinion.
So I said, this is I assume this is how we're slowly getting Cody to make himself public enemy number one, to where he knows some folks that have been known to be cutthroat that he calls his friends. I mean, his mentor is the Viper for crying out loud, so he's probably looking both ways across the street, keeping both eyes open, whatever. I'm gonna get you before you get me.
Because Shawn was so great in that like at that time when he did that with Cena, this was still the Shawn that believed in God and was
Mm-hmm.
but he was also that don't turn your back on me. We fighting for the world championship. Yeah, we got the tag team.
Was it Survivor Series where we had the triple threat with him and Triple H, and when the bell rings, Swishy moves to Triple H. You have that visual of Cena just looking like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you liked it like that.
Yeah, like so. I think a little bit of that from Kevin. Kevin always does a super kick too. So the whole running with the bell and then handing it to him was like I don't know. Back in like again, Sean used to know how to draw things out with.
That's one of those you're better not having that be the closing segment to begin with.
Fair enough.
It did
Why?
it didn't add anything. If anything, it was just it made everything come out flat, and the bar
And then
was set fairly to begin with. So it's like, well, I guess.
and then just to defend Kevin Owens a bit, Cody ain't really do much of a good job selling it. Like Cena would have been over animated, like whoa, what you just trying to
Like,
switch?
were you really about to? We gonna do this now?
Right. He
Cody
would
just sits there,
yeah, he would have put his stance up or some Cena would have did something. Cody's just like, did you really
or even Randy ran up in his face like, "Oh, you really want to do this? All right, go ahead, take your shot."
yeah, I felt
So
there was a
anything,
Cody to just stand there like and just make like that kind of expression. I was just like you said, it did nothing for the moment. And also before that ending, they gave us the matches that's gonna happen on Berlin, so there was time left, right? Until
yeah.
now. And then we come back to them in the ring to do that. It felt like a bit odd and weird. Like,
Like maybe the match finished early. I don't know.
no, maybe it just felt like that was supposed to happen, but it was supposed to be delivered a different way. And I think maybe Cody got to just stop with this fucking too cool, calm shit. Like, bro, it's okay to be a little animated. Like when he's talking aggressive the last 2 weeks, nice, good job. Like we're seeing more aggression out of him. But like a little calm every time, like it's just
It's like he was okay with it.
yeah, it's like yeah, like so if he would have smacked you in the back of the head, you would have just got up and had that same expression, like damn, he
You
just
just stand there like, "Oh my god! Oh no! Oh
yeah,
no!"
you would have not stormed off for nothing. You would have just sat there at the apron of the ring with your title, wondering why, like what the hell? What you mean why? Like that's the vibe he was giving me. So I don't know for them, but to me the SmackDown, it felt like it was an easy watch tonight. So on my scale of 1 to 10,
Definitely a
give it
little definitely better than the last couple weeks.
yeah, and I feel like it's in credit to them doing things different. If you're not gonna give us the fire storylines, at least you gave us stuff we can enjoy and laugh to.
You let stuff grow.
Yeah, because I didn't feel like anything aside from Solo taking the belt from Jacob and giving it to Tonga. Nothing of significance to me happened, and even that moment we can look at it how we want to because they were under the free bird rules anyway, as to where
Hmm.
anyone could have defended the belts. So what happened there is all like for interpretation. So I thought this SmackDown was again, it was easy to watch, easy 2 hours. Unlike like Monday Night Raw this past Monday, the first hour had me drawn. I felt like, man, watch, and then I gotta
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. Raw was something,
So and then
but we're finally getting Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable.
that's what I was gonna get to. Also, they showed that on SmackDown tonight, the preview of what's to come on Monday, and we're gonna get Uncle Howdy versus Chad Gable one on Monday Night Raw. I think it's gonna be a special Monday Night Raw. I don't think people are gonna want to miss it. Like I really truly
Well,
believe you said it might be something
also on that note, real quick, since it is not midnight your time, it is now the 1 year anniversary of Bray's passing.
like rest in peace to Bray, man.
So I anticipate them doing some sort of video pack or something to commemorate that. But yeah, that'll probably be the main event of Raw. I mean, I would presume so.
Yeah,
But I mean, if what we saw with these 6-man or the tag team match a few weeks ago, if it's anything like that, then it'll be a fun match. Bo's very talented. Gable is extremely talented as well, so it should be a fun match overall.
No, I think it's going to be. I think I wasn't giving Bash in Berlin too much credit. I think it's going to shape out to be a entertaining pay per view. I think I was looking for more out of it, and these last few weeks, it looking like it's shaping up. You know what I'm saying?
Also, I think what kind of worried people was out the gate after SummerSlam, we announced both titles will be contested at that PLE, and we're just like, why?
Right.
Now the Gunther one I get because it's his home country, but again, I feel fine with we can do without Cody and KO this next weekend. Especially look what we have now. We're getting the mixed tag between Judgment Day and the Terror Twins. We're getting a women's street fight between Nia Jax and Michin. We're getting a goddamn strap match with Drew and Punk.
Yeah, I mean, it could all be done to run Cody up. I mean, he's the only champion since WrestleMania, active champion since WrestleMania, defending champion. So maybe they just
You,
run
you,
him up
you
the
have
defense.
Nia.
Who?
You have Nia Jax.
She won at SummerSlam though. I mean, since like
Oh,
at
that's right. That's right.
WrestleMania, yeah. I think Alba Fire and them, where they won at? Did they win at WrestleMania as well?
They won in Wales at Clash.
Okay, so yeah, it might be Cody, the only champion coming out of WrestleMania. It was Logan
Yeah.
Paul, yeah, but Logan Paul don't have it anymore. So right now, Cody's the longest reigning champion coming out of WrestleMania. So maybe they just running up his defenses. Because I know him and Damian, since they won at WrestleMania, they was kind of there. They was defending at the same pay-per-views as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it's going. The one that worried me about the pay per view, to be honest, was the mixed tag match: Liv Morgan, Dom, Damian Priest, and Rhea.
Why does
Now,
that one worry you?
because I'm like, okay, Liv defended the title once to Rhea. Now this is another way to keep the belt off of, or like prevent, I should say, rather than keep. It's their way of preventing Liv Morgan from actually defending the championship.
Well, I mean, she just defended at SummerSlam. You want her to defend every PLE like everybody else?
Mm,
Does that belt need to have the quote unquote workhorse champion? I say no.
no, but she won at when she won the championship.
Well, she retained at SummerSlam.
That was her first defense, though, right?
Yeah.
And the last time
Well,
she won,
she'd won it. What was the PLE before then?
it was with Becky, though, right? In that cage match,
Oh yeah, the cage match.
and that was on the Raw, right?
That is true.
So I was just like, damn, they already like.
Well, yeah. And then she defended against Zelina on a Raw as well.
That's right. You got, yeah, all right. 'Cause I thought like she didn't defend it up until Rhea Ripley. I forgot the Zelina matchup.
Did Nietzsche get a title shot or no?
Nah.
Yeah, so might have just been Zelina and Becky then before Rhea. But again, I mean, like that story right now, I think it's okay that the women's belt rises to back burner for a little bit because the story itself is hotter than the rematch between Rhea and Liv. And also with that women's division, so they're obviously putting more emphasis on the trios divisions now for the women's tag team. So it wouldn't hurt to have Liv not defend for a minute until you get one of the other heavy hitters back.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm all for female factions, But I find the trio matches odd.
Yeah, 'cause I think for me it's just not everyone has that level of chemistry. Just yeah, you're just putting there just to put them there.
That and right, it's the chemistry, and then what are we trying to accomplish? Like, are y'all just content with pick it? Like, y'all looking for feuds where other factions assembled of three? Are y'all actually
Well,
looking to capture tag team championships and one get the single title? Like,
let's use this as an example. The fuck happened with LWO? Exactly. That's the
yeah,
prime example.
because
You
like,
put everyone together just to say they're together, and then that was it.
because realistically, like, all right, not everybody gonna win, but the goal. What's the goal? Bloodline. They won the championships. They wanted this the fame, not the fame so much, but what comes
But
with
same with
winning.
Judgment Day. Judgment Day won everything.
You feel me? So when you got these factions that like, what's the point of the pure collective, the pure fusion
They want the
collective?
tag titles for now.
You know what I'm saying?
The
So
pure collective fusion.
then that leaves okay. So now Sonya Deville would be playing like how Bailey was playing for Damage Control in the
Or
beginning,
Dakota Kai.
right? So then that would be cool. Now I need more like you know what I'm saying. Give me that because then it made more sense. Like Damage Control made sense to me. Like okay, the only one that I felt like kind of lost her footing in the group a little bit was Dakota Kai. Especially that's when they bring back Kyrie Sane
Well, Kai's
and
back. Oscar's out right now.
hmm so when they had
Like,
them back mix, like Dakota was really left out there. Okay, you're not in the tag team with them no more. These are the Kabuki Warriors now.
mhm.
Io Sky doing her own thing. So it's like, yeah.
And then down in NXT, what's Metaphor doing? Nothing.
I'm telling you, they should go with that way that I'm telling you of every 6 months they could call somebody up, two picks or three, four, whatever, two males, two females, whatever's clever. Whether it be one a tag team, whatever the case is. But it gives options. It gives and I don't I guess it's only because there's like that main contract, like WWE like got the main contract and NXT contracts. I think if there was none of that, it would be so much easier to do what I'm saying. But because there's contracts involved, things of that nature, they got to think logically, like who's really ready to go up there. But you could practice. I'm a firm believer of you can practice all you want. There's nothing like in-game practice.
Which is why Triple H is sending folks from NXT to TNA, All
Hmm.
Japan, Noah, Marigold, down to Mexico, to the UK soon.
Yeah, facts.
And he's going, yes, we only have so many spots. That is what it is. That's not going to change, unfortunately. But we have now the bridge set to where folks can go there. Their folks can come here, do a little exchange, miniature deal. They get their reps over here. They get their reps over there. Like I said, I haven't checked recently, but last I checked, Tavion High is still strong running in the N1 right now. To where if certain folks have a single loss that he wins out, he might steal the damn block. A guy who's got been in NXT less than what a year. When did Tavion High first get on the level up in NXT? Was it this year?
Bro, I feel like it was just 3 months ago when we was watching Who Killed
Right,
W.
right. And look at him now.
I remember asking you, I was like, yo, who is this kid? I kind of like this kid. You was like, some of the same shit you telling me now. I don't know. I seen him on NXT Level Up. I'm like, okay. I think this is something. And we started low key. Why we already knew about Regal's son, you know what I'm saying? Dempsey. We
Mhm.
knew about Charlie. Then we seeing all of them incorporated, like, oh nah, it's about to get crazy. Like they really doing. See, like that's a low key. Like what you saying, they getting their licks in everywhere else. Carmelo Hayes, I felt like he was in that intimate NXT 2.0 setting that afterwards. So he was in that weird NXT. So like you got that intimate crowd that kind of fucked with you for whatever. He came up to the main roster, and I feel like it's now in this Andrade feud, he's finding his footing.
Mhm. But also, Pro Wrestling Noah, more specifically, WWE Hall of Famer, the Great Muda, he wants Omos in Japan with them.
I seen that. What's that about?
They again, much like what we're seeing, like there's something there. Muda's saying, "I can get that out of him.
I mean, I don't think
You
again,
want to be a star? I'll make him a star."
like to me, Omos ain't bad. It's just you ain't give him a good like.
Well,
All right, AJ
to
Styles.
me, that was the only part of his best match, realistically.
He
But
has
when
something
you
with
had
that.
but when you had him in the ring with Brock, Brock's one physical son of a bitch, so you cannot be afraid to match physicality. Now, could that be his vice? I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but he did come up as a little timid in that match
Gonna
where
lie, he
Brock ate
would
him
have
alive.
seen. Yeah, he seen what happened to Braun Strowman. You heard?
Brock will say, "Hey, I tagged him. He got his receipt. It's good." Did you happen to catch Sheamus on Pat McAfee yesterday?
Nah,
So he
he
was
out
on
in
the.
Ireland
Oh no, but he was on the podcast
in the
yesterday
states. Okay.
in the states, and he tells me, it's a very rough style. Folks said we're a little snug, whatever. And he goes, I love that because again, you hit me, I hit you, whatever. It's a sport. Like we're physical guys. We are meant to be physical. This is what we do. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're my size or whatever, there's a certain level to where you just got to do it.
I mean, I think it was
And you
seen.
got to tell yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and
This is
you
seen.
got to tell yourself, yeah. But even if you got to give some a little extra little something on there, it's gonna happen. But again, you're too damn big to be doing all that dainty shit.
It's like the
But
little
the
shit
great,
that Jericho got mad at Brock Lesnar for. What
yeah,
was
off of
doing?
Fuss and Randy.
Yeah, like
No, that might have been a little bit different. But again, you look at like back then, you had Big Show, Mark Henry, Kane, Brock. These are no small men.
mm-hmm.
Even Batista to a degree. The Great Khali, Umaga. These were very physical men. And once in a while, you're going to come across a Scott Steiner or Kurt Angle who aren't as big, but they like that physicality. It makes them feel more at home. It comes off more as a natural fight in the ring.
But it's like what Brian Danielson said, right? You seen his interview? I
Mm-hmm.
forget on which platform it was on, but he was basically touching on the fact that Randy Orton doesn't like to get physical like that. Like he knows how to wrestle with who likes to get physical, and Randy's just like one of those people that doesn't like to get physical. So
So Randy touched on that. I don't know if you ever had a chance to listen to Cody's pod or whatever. Do we call that a podcast? Is what you want to talk about
what,
on
yeah,
YouTube?
yeah, I could call, yeah, you could call it there.
Yeah. So, anyways, he kind of touched on that, and he goes, "It's not that I don't like getting physical. It's just he talked about that. Okay, it's about body preservation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do everything on the show where you're igniting the angles. Some stuff has to be saved for the final blow off when you're maxed out the pay where whenever when that protocol's end. You got to save the good shit for the end.
That's because Randy from that old culture, like he from that, he's groomed from that. He's a third generation superstar. Like he's not saw nothing wrong with that. Just this, the way that they do it now. These younger dudes, I don't know how Sheamus came up. That's the style they enjoy. Danny Brown.
But again, with the Shan style that's that UK style and similar to the Japanese strong style. The interface is very technically sound, but more often than not, it's trial by fire. Like you shed my blood, I shed your blood. We have a beer afterwards and just kicking a vibe, and we break bread. But what we're doing there, that's our craft. Sometimes we gotta be just a little bit more, about it.
Mhm. No, I mean, like, as long as like they give out the checks and they able to get the receipts and they're all right with it, then for me it'd be a cool day in the office. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying?
But also, as far as the safety versus nuggets, like
Yes, sir, Moolah. See you out there.
there's taking liberties, but there's being physical while protecting your partner in the ring.
Yeah, that's what I was like saying earlier when Punk has said that there's a way to like, lay them in there, but also hit
Mhm.
people in places that's not gonna kill them and shit. Like, it's a way to like do it. You know what I mean? And if it's cool, it's cool. They should they
Yeah,
make
but some folks aren't okay with that. Again, it is what it is. But some folks are like what Gooser would have told him, like, if you're gonna hit me, you motherfucker hit me.
Mhm. Nah, they match is gonna be interesting on in Berlin too. Gunther and Randy. Like, we seen a little bit at King of the Ring.
Yeah, and if folks say that Randy don't like getting physical, this run back, you're gonna see Randy with a little more bite in him. And also, again, not being physical. Look at his casket match with Undertaker. That Extreme Rules match with Mick Foley at a one night stand. His matches with Edge over the years. You can tell me this man don't like getting physical? No, he makes us fans earn it and want it.
It gotta be that moment. Definitely
Like, it's
gotta
like
be.
when a corner server is saying, it's like, why give him the whole kitchen sink Act One? That was when he had the big pay per view. Everyone's already seen everything. The pay per view is not special, and you wonder why no one attends the events. Cop, cop, Tony Khan.
Yes, sir. Nah, but I definitely think Randy gonna execute with more emphasis this time around. For sure. He gonna make that shit. Just like when you
But
do
can we
every
see him winning is the question.
I mean, it's again like what you said about LA Knight. Do we have him drop this? Like, this would be Gunther's first defense. At least fucking LA Knight defended this shit on SmackDown. So I mean, but
Yeah, yeah,
granted,
yeah, yeah,
Randy
yeah.
is
But
legendary.
but on the same breath, this is the Randy Orton we're talking about too.
Right. Randy's legendary.
Like, this is the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, the Viper, the most three dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment.
He
And Gunther has wanted that Randy Orton that was an absolute menace back in 2008. He wants that Randy Orton where he's kicking everybody in the head, whether you're blood or not.
I'm not gonna lie. For some part of me, they should have really let Braun Breaker just sit there and beat Gunther, cause I feel like I look at Gunther just a little bit differently since he lost to Sami Zayn. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like his win at King of the Ring, it was surrounded by controversy. We haven't seen him in forever. Yeah, he comes out and beats Damian Priest, but arguably he was in deep waters too, though. With this being Damian Priest's first heavyweight
Mm-hmm.
champion, like, he kind of got an assistance, unwanted assistance, but an assistance nonetheless from Finn. So I'm not like you might be right with something there because Gunther, he hasn't clear cut been the same 666 days dominant in the continental. I haven't seen that clear cut dominance since the loss
Well,
to
also remember when you NXT UK champion, he had that belt for 800 days. There was a statistic, however, almost 80% of Gunther's entire tenure in WWE since getting signed back to NXT, he's been a champion. Almost 80% of the time he's been on the payroll. He's had gold.
Mm.
Now I get it. You can't have him just lose just anybody, but I mean, there's a few guys on that roster now on both brands to where I guess eat a loss here and there and it'd be okay because the story would be worthwhile. Braun, he's got the history with Braun. He's been damn near salivating at the bit and begging for Brock Lesnar to where he'll sell flat Saskatchewan himself to go fight Brock just for shits and giggles. You still have another run back with Ilya. You have I wouldn't mind seeing Bronson Reed having to go in one of these days. You still have the stuff with Gunther and the Gallus boys. Gunther and Ludwig. What's that going to look like when we see that for in a marquee moment? And then you have John Cena next year, whenever that happens.
Word, whenever that kicks into gear for real.
Because we know it's coming. That's something that well, I don't care if it's who's against it, whatever. You cannot let that opportunity pass you by.
I think he gonna do like some kind of extension, like you know how he's saying it's supposed to be the whole 2025. Like he
But
might
we're getting only 40 dates.
40 days, and then
40
40 more.
days throughout 2025, and that's it.
Yes, it'll have to start like the Royal Rumble.
Well, we will see him in January with Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be day number one. And then you have the Rumble, Mania, the Chamber. That's three more. SummerSlam. I assume some of the bigger PLs will have that. So maybe a Saudi show. We're at 10 shows right there, 12, 13 shows. So it's just a handful of Raws, a handful of SmackDowns. Maybe NXT, I don't know. But those days are going to go by quick.
Mm-hmm. I can see that for sure. Anything you want to touch on before we close out?
Well, let's hope for All In is a good show.
Oh man, All In. That's on Sunday.
Yep, there's a couple good matches I wouldn't mind seeing, but all in all, I believe they could have did much better with the card. But what do I know?
But we shall see. I mean, what we always say is consistent. They put on good pay-per-views, PLEs,
Yeah.
but the fuck is it gonna lead to? Some more random shit on Wednesday? I mean, like,
Well, now whether it's Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, all their shit lines up together in some way, shape, or form.
I'll be
Nothing
honest,
is different about the next.
they caught up in the same cycle too. Like meaning the best fight the best. You pull out some fucking random challenges for the heavyweight champion in the form of like when Christian Cage came and challenged Swerve, and then you just have a whole bunch of shit in between that it doesn't allow you to.
You'll have it eliminated, and it's special because it's the first time ever.
Instead of like, and then yeah, that's crazy because you really could give shit like kind of like what Randy's saying about the payoff. Like you're not even giving what's the point of just burning first time matchups? Like you can let this shit sit for a little longer, and then really when the time come, really you just
Yeah,
burn it.
first that's cool and all that, but once you get it out of the way, that's that. And I'm sure the match will be fine, but imagine if you made the folks want it.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. That's how I feel about MJF and Osprey. Like I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong, and I want to stand corrected, but they put on such of a good show with that 60 minute that what can they do to top this? Like, do I
And on
really
top of
want
that,
a match?
well, here's the other thing. what closes the show out? That match or Bryan Danielson's last match, potentially? Because if Swerve wins, Bryan is never wrestling ever again.
Come home.
But on the flip side, I'll get to that in a second. But also on the flip side, if Bryan's now Tony Khan likes to put the belt on his retiring guys, so if Tony does that with Bryan and puts it then Swerve loses to Bryan, what does that do to Swerve?
What has Swerve?
Does,
I mean,
does Swerve finally go on the abyss of guys lost in the shuffle after that?
you know what I don't like about Swerve's run a little bit? That like I don't know if it's his fault or how they position him, but it's like you want. It's like you're fighting for us to be behind you as like you're the guy of AEW. When we just behind you, we not behind the idea of you being the face of AEW. Like him competing in that match, fighting for AEW, Team AEW, and all of that. Like it's just like shit like that for me. When you put him in that storyline and make it seem like he cares about any of that shit, and then part of it, blame the post conference too. He is a company guy, so I could believe it too. Where like, nah, I'm putting on for AEW. I'm their champion. You know what I'm saying? So it's a couple things that I don't really like about that. I like the whole when they was on they rugged shit. They was just running over shit.
Let me ask you this question: did you know Swerve got his own sneaker out?
Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that because they touched on it briefly at one of the pressers, and immediately Tony took that shoe off the booth. Yet they're always plugging the EVP's ugly as Reebok shoes. Why don't you plug in what your world champion has? The dude that people actually give a damn about.
Facts.
And the other notion that you hear that bit about the Young Bucks on how the reason why they're technically part-time champions right now.
Nah.
So in their initial contract when they signed as talent, Tony already blew their appearance dates. So anything that extra that aside from whatever he has left, he's got to pay them an extra for.
That's crazy.
Like
That
Tony, you let these guys fuck you over this quick already? To where anytime they show up, you have to pay them extra now? How many appearances did this have to begin with? Like these guys and any time that comes on, they only care about you for your money, nothing else.
that's called finessing, juking and
And,
finessing.
and here's the funny bit. I guess the Young Bucks and Jericho, they got Hogan's old agent,
Mm.
Mr. Barry Bloom,
The negotiator
agent for
of
the
creative.
stars.
Yep. Creative control agent.
So it's like, I mean, again,
Now, I ain't gonna lie,
like
like
the show, the show will be fine.
that place needs a refresh in terms of like whatever power Jericho, all of them have, like that needs to go away. And if Tony gonna run shit, then it's so all everything be on him. But you can't have the blame go to this and you know what I'm saying and that they
Here's
got
the thing. They don't blame nothing on anything. In their mind, everything's great. Everything's all rainbows and sunshine.
facts. I mean,
And the only way I think they may list to some changes is if it comes direct from Warner Brothers whenever we get this new contract saying, we'll give you this money, but we better see this. And otherwise, it's like, Why should we give you money to begin with when you've cost us money? Yes, you're number one on Wednesdays, but aside from basketball season, there ain't shit on Wednesdays. Let's just be honest. And again, this was your go home show for the pay per view, and you couldn't break 700K people watching. You had no problem doing a lot. You had no problem doing the last week when you told folks you had an announcement about it, you didn't announce fuck all. So, so now we know. And then the next year, Tony Khan, you are paying for Wembley again. You are paying for the stadium in Arlington, Texas, where the Rangers play. You are paying for a stadium in Australia. You are paying for wherever you're going to put Forbidden Door at in the UK next year. Since you took New Year's Day from New Japan, they're probably putting the bill for Russell Dynasty on you, hopefully. So that's 6 overseas shows out of your pocket. Not like WWE towards these cities are coming to them saying, hey, how much would it cost us for you to come over here? We want a WrestleMania. We want Survivor Series. We want this and this. The city of Indianapolis, they got the Rumble, Mania, and a SummerSlam. And a 3-show package deal. They're ahead, and then in doing so, WWE's, like I said, they're getting so much money, they're sharing it with everybody else. Whereas with AEW, well, money that does come in, it's getting Tony Khan as close to breaking even as possible without physically breaking even. And they're supposed to be valued at almost $300 million
That's crazy.
per
That's a
show.
waste. That's a waste. But I mean, some of the wrestlers are getting paid, so W for them, but waste on his end.
And until Warner Brothers doesn't renew the deal, or until Shad Khan steps in when he sees all the money that's being bled out, nothing will change over there. Now they made some adjustments so that certain segments and certain scenarios have gotten better. I'll give them that. Certain instances they've tried some stuff and it's been working, but when you have the majority, the same folks do the same bullshit, we know where the detriment is. It's always been the same people. It's the same reason why we said nothing would change with that because why? It was Vince and Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Vince always had the final say so. What's Tony Khan doing now? He's got the final say so because he got the fucking checkbook.
Yeah. I mean, we always said it too. Tony becoming everything he hated on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Much like CM Punk calling John Cena the New York Yankees, while being a Red Sox fan, Tony Khan, you are becoming Vince McMahon. It's got to be about you and only you. Nothing is wrong. Everything is just great. It's good shit, pal.
As to where, and I think it's sounding like I don't want to praise Triple H too much for listening to the fans because I got my own opinion on how the fans are fickle. They flip flop between what they like and don't like on a daily basis, but he is taking his time to look at everything. It appears negative and good, negative and positive. So
He's seeing what they're reacting to and trying to figure out why they're reacting to it.
All reactions.
Like, hey, they're like they pop for this. Let's figure out why they're popping into this. So again, like the Tongalosa, for example, they know that he knows the fans can't stand him and his little mishap per se. So all right, he's meant to be heel anyways. All right, let's make him hate you more. Let's try that. See how that goes.
Yeah, I feel that because it was troll on Tongaloa's face. Like, it was some, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna hold the belt like this. All right, y'all cool with that, right?
Uh, it was some troll there, in my opinion. So
And then you look at AEW tour again with Mercedes and her mic skills, whatever. It's either crickets or folks just don't want to hear her talk at all.
I mean, it just shows them bullet points from WWE. Sometimes we knock them, but they become useful. Even the best actors in Hollywood, they follow scripts. Yes, they can improv, they can shoot shit on the fly, but
But
for the
again,
most
not
part,
everybody can know how to do that well. That's a trick right there.
yeah, like, and it's on live television. Like that's unprecedented to be on the go on live television, just shooting the shit like that in front of. But maybe the audience
Because
part matter, but the television part, you gotta come across a certain way on television. You know what I'm saying? For it to hit.
this past Dynamite, old Britt Baker ate her alive. Basically said that out of the four horsewomen, referencing the four horsewomen, she was the worst of all four of them.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like maybe now we could say that. Maybe now that hits. I didn't feel that way. I felt like Sasha had it figured out quicker than them. That's all. At that moment in time,
Well, that's the
it
thing.
was
She figured out how their system works,
yeah, yep.
whereas not how to get it on your own. Because if you think about it, Bailey earned shit on her own and thrived. Charlotte figured it out on her own and thrived. Becky figured it out and thrived.
I mean, maybe it's different
Sasha,
circumstances.
Sasha figured out the WWE stuff and then took her ball and went home and said, "Oh, I'm a bigger star than all them." It's like
It's like the NBA
maybe
young
the
boy.
ring.
It's
So
like
what?
NBA young. It's like the NBA young boy. Maybe different circumstances, but when he left his label, he felt he was making him so much money. Then he went to Birdman, and now he got his locked in bag, but he's not generating as much behind the machine he once had.
There's no return on investment.
So yeah, he got his bag from Birdman, but he's not like you said, no return on the investment. So he's not. They not getting
But
that shit he was doing for them over there.
and here's the kicker with that. It's like, and Tony, he honestly believes that there is a return on investment because there's a reaction. It's like no, like
I just think personally, there's nothing wrong with having the machine behind you. I think that's the goal. And I don't want to say in everybody's life, but to be successful a little bit, you can stand on your hill and on your pride and be like, I want to do it all on my own or my way. And on the flip side of the coin, though, you got the machine that was partially they're partially the reason why you in the position you're in terms of popularity, the fame.
how much easier is this work when you don't have to think about shit yourself? They know how you talk, how you move, how your character interacts with folks. They know your personality. Let them find something that works for you. I mean, shit. They brought someone there from Dead to be specifically for her. Other folks have gotten better on the promos, but her.
I mean, I don't even think where she was at. I just think it was. Remember when I say what's meant for you is meant for you. She had her time. It was somebody else's
Mhm.
time. You was the boss. You had your moment. You came out with Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania. Like you've had your moments. People know who the
And then
boss.
and when some of us start getting their moments, yeah, you're still the women's tag champions, but after Blue, you're like, I want my money or I'm out of here. You don't pay me, I'm out of here.
Yeah, bro. That type of shit is wild right there. Again, it's some could say like it's betting on yourself, but I'm I'm a team player, so if I'm looking at it like I've been at the mountaintop before, I've been here, I've done this. I'm looking at it like I'm not complacent with where I'm about to be, holding this tag team championship, but I'm about to look at it like, all right, Razor, if they gave me and you the men's tag team championships, we're about to be the brothers of destruction. Fuck it. I'm not even gonna
Mm-hmm.
oh, we should be doing
different things. He should be the SmackDown champ. I should be the well, man. Undertaker and Kane was rolling together like Kane said. Undertaker always had my back. Like that's how I'm rolling. Like, all right, fuck it. We the brothers of destruction. We holding the WCW belts, WWF belts. You know what I'm saying? But some people are different. Again, that's why
Look
Undertaker.
at Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah, yep. You know, some people are different. Santana wanted more for himself, and he doing good. Ortiz, I don't know. What you okay with what's going on? I don't know.
I don't. What is Ortiz doing now?
I don't know. They made him cut his hair. That's the last thing I know. And that man,
Is he in the Ring of Honor abyss yet? Probably.
that was another point in this time. Him versus Jericho, the hair versus whatever match. Like I don't even remember
Yeah.
what was like made this man cut his hair off and stuff.
Again, it did nothing for nobody, but such is the case for most anything that AEW does. But at least the pay-per-views are good.
Yeah, like see, like some people could control their destiny better than others, but it's a real it's a little bit of you seen the I think you sent it to me the John Cena on the Shea, right? On
Yeah.
Shea. So it's kind of like what Cena said, like hard work gonna play a factor in it, but some things are just magical timing, a little bit of luck, like you know what I'm saying? Cause some of these people could go to like Cardona. He could have went he was making more of a name on the indies than if he just go to AEW and do what there.
Well, let's look at Cardona's like very first stint when he got fired the first time. He got fired because he was getting popular on YouTube as the internet champion,
Crazy.
and then he gets so much of a buzz. Vince brings him back. He's one of the most popular guys they have, probably in history. The reaction he was getting with his theme song and all that.
Yeah, already yo,
Loves
that
the
was my
tag belts, gets fired again, and then it's just yeah, he then fell into that carousel.
like Ricochet, right? Like if he feel like he wasn't put in a spot to do good, like in my opinion, whenever he came out and cut promos, it didn't sell me on him or what he was the mission he's going out there to accomplish. Your moveset was
Right.
good, but they gave you spots and chances, and in those moments, eh,
They weren't it.
yeah. The best thing I seen him do was that Braun Breaker stuff right now recently, and Logan Paul before that. But everything else is kind of like yeah, he was just out there with Braun Strowman doing little random stuff here and there.
Have us demand to give him some kisses to bring him back to life.
I think what really killed it for Ricochet in WWE too, he didn't really find the gear, in my opinion. One week he's coming out with shorts, next week with long pants, jeans, and a hoodie, a whole bodysuit.
Well, some of that could have been Vince too, just not know what to do. I mean,
That
he knew
Vinceism,
what he wanted to do, but again, if you're at the mercy of Vince, there's not a lot you can do to begin with.
right? Again, in that landscape, that time it wasn't for him. Now
Uh,
in this landscape, it seems like Triple H is favoring people who should have had their time, a la Nia Jax, people that's gonna get their time, a la Tiffany Stratton, and people that's currently living in their times like Braun Breaker.
but look at guys like Aleister Black, Adam Cole, even Rick Shanato, to where it's like guys that yeah we're established, we're known Triple H guys, but they're tired of quote unquote putting in the work. And look how they kind of just fell by the wayside in AEW.
Right, like LA Knight's story is kind of similar to Adam Cole shit, where they was gonna have Adam Cole do the manager shit, and they actually had LA Knight do the manager shit. And
Yeah.
LA Knight just stugged it on out just a little bit, just enough for them changes to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like he was probably on his way out too, but he thugged it on out just enough. Trusted Triple H, and now he got the United States Championship. So, like you said, it's better than being sidelined. Like I don't know, AEW got like a weird injury plague too. Like again, you credit it to the amount of reps,
Or lack thereof in their case.
right? Cause it got to be something, right? It's like trying to work out and you don't stretch before you jump or something. Like you know something bad about to happen. You don't just watch the athletes go out there without warming up. Even the
Right.
professional athletes are out there warming up. They taking shots, they stretching before the game. They don't just come out from the tunnel, switch into their jerseys, and just play. So yeah, I mean that's a tough part right there that I didn't never really take into consideration because one would probably think the opposite, but they actually with more reps building callus to take the bumps. Your body starts, dealing with those injuries. Like you get nagging injuries still in WWE, but they're more you can work with them. Look like in AEW, dudes are just getting sidelined left and right, and then it don't just be regular shit, broken orbitals, like fucking Brian has some crazy shit happen to him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. No. With Brian, a lot of those were freak acts like with punk injuries, but when you look at the other folks, whether it be Rio, Dante Amaro, whatever, not
Edge's
everybody can do
spot,
every move.
Edge's spot had to be the dumbest injury ever. I'm not even gonna lie. That one and
Yeah.
the other dude, Dante Martin, or his brother, one of the Martin
When
brothers,
he
the
took
one that,
the destroyer from Pentagon outside the ring and broke his leg.
yeah, bro. Cause that spot was actually fire though. I'm not gonna lie. It's just the outcome of it wasn't like if that nigga would have walked away with no injuries, we ain't saying nothing about that spot. That shit was
Okay,
fire.
okay.
Oh,
So now, was that an Edge's move dumber than Darby diving through glass at
that
Revolution?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. We could have. Yeah, nah, that was that. See, but then I don't know, bro. Like this is where we don't want to ruin magic, right? WWE done did some shit too, but this magical, bro. It's gonna leave us question like them scenes when they used to have the behind the stage, Kane driving somebody limo into the truck and he get out right before we supposed to think that this person is still in the back of the limo, right? Like or Vince's limo exploding, right? Like it was just
Yeah, but
magic.
but
This is live
that's
stupidity.
yeah.
This is live stupidity. Like, come on, bro. Like you said, what is this Nitro Circus, bro? Like, come on, man. Like,
And again, this was Sting's retirement match.
yeah, like we over here talking instead of talking about that, the highlight is
And
Brian.
instead you have a whole ass death match just because.
I mean, ah, you know what I feel honestly like that they had to do that to
Go
because if
ahead,
you have
defend it. I dare you.
no, you had to because if you have a regular tag team match, it's gonna be boring. Like, I think like that's what made Sting's run in AEW actually special that he was doing all of this age defying stuff. But to the point that we making, we didn't need the Darby Glass thing. We
Yeah,
didn't need that.
everything about the Darby match was just fine, but no, Darby dies with the glass. There's nobody around to begin with except for one of the Bucks was probably about 30 feet away already, but there's nothing there. You just did it just to do it.
hmm And then later on, we get stuff like Jungle Boy getting set on fire, him almost getting set on fire again. I don't know. It was just like you're killing the magic. You're killing the magic a bit now.
No, they're just
Like
pissing on us what they're doing.
even in the magic show when they split the lady in half in the box, they just walk her out, or they might open
Yeah.
the box and leave it to you, but they not tell it like it's, killing the magic, man. Like Bully said on one of the shows, the kid wanted to tell him, you know how I did the trick? No, nah. Don't
I
tell
don't
me.
no. Leave me in disbelief because that's how you make your money.
Yeah, that all that those spots right there, those wild spots are unnecessary because it's really like it's leading to injury. It's not safe. When it's done safe and it keeps us wondering how the fuck, like even Kurt Angle, I don't even know how Kurt Angle used to do a moonsault off the top of the cage without getting hurt. And even if he did get hurt, it wasn't like a fucking badass injury though. Like it wasn't like dude broke his leg and couldn't walk out the shit though. Like
You
you
mean like
know,
Sid?
yeah, bro. Oh man, that one off the ropes is crazy, bro. Like that was a bad one too. Like even I was watching Stevie Richards, right? He was watching, I guess, a video of botches from Indies. And this one dude
Yeah.
went to do a moonsault and landed right on his head and his neck. And it just looked at bro, like, really? He could have died for real.
Or shit, even Brock with that shooting star press at Mania 19. How were you not dead after that?
For real, though. He escaped a close one there. Like, and look, Brock went on to do his career how he did it. Like, he don't need to do that shit. Whoever told him
Yeah.
to do that shit almost fucked him over.
You didn't hear a story with that one.
I feel like I've heard variations.
So I've heard stories about a lot of the keynotes stayed the same. He when he was a little bit heavier OVW, he would do it. He would clear that length, no problem, and everyone was on fire with it. But I guess I don't know what I don't know if he got his bell right early in that match or whatever. But the rope was slippery on top of that, and after the fact, I forget who greenlit it, but they realized it was a bad idea because they saw how much Kurt and Brock were sweating all over the ropes. So he slips as he's jumping.
And that's baby oil era. Everybody oiled up the whole night.
Hmm.
Crazy.
And this was Brock at 300 pounds,
Yeah.
not even 30 yet.
Yeah,
Uh,
like even that, right? Like even that almost killed his Brock's magic a little bit. Like thank goodness he was able to finish the match because it made him look ridiculous. Like, oh nah, this nigga just took himself out, bro.
you're like,
Like
this
when
man is wild.
yeah, you feel me? Like when people do it to other people, like when Owen did it to Austin and Austin had to finish the match, or like you
Like
see somebody,
that was a clear cut accident.
yeah, like it's like damn, that's fucked up. But when you see somebody self-inflicted botchery, like even when
Or
Undertaker went over
or
the top
or
rope, man,
what was it? You got Kurt Angle, Shane McMahon, King of the Ring. Yeah, Shane McMahon versus Steve Blackman. Uh,
a
you
lot of
know the
shit.
spots we're talking about.
You know why? I feel for Shane is different, and I hate to say there's differences for people, but like you said, and we talked about this, Vince and Shane wouldn't ask people to do shit they weren't out there doing.
Well, again, that part is true, whatever. But also, with that being said, they're saying, all right, we have a safe formula for this to work for all body types. We have the formula and recipe to do this safely.
For real, I mean, you didn't hear of, and maybe because whatever steroids people or performance enhancement they was allowed to take is expediting with the pain and handling or whatever. But you just wasn't hearing about all of these freak accidents like this, bro. It was
Or,
far reaching.
again, if shit happens, they'll get written on TV for a few months or a year, and we just leave it at that because
And
there was nothing wrong with stating that.
your biggest like always see your credit. What makes you different? Like not everybody that has the same body type means they have. King Kong Bundy and Bam Bam Bigelow were by far the same guy because they both big heavy set. No, King Kong
But
Bundy.
Bam Bam can move like a goddamn cruiserweight.
You feel me? Like, come on. Like,
Or again, let's look at who's another comparison? Maybe Sabu and Taz. similar sized guys, but what Taz could do grappling, Sabu could make up for flying all over the building.
Yup. I even want to throw Tajiri in there with any WWF Real Cruiserweight that was like just out there like 1, 2, 3 kid or something. Tajiri was getting busy. And his SmackDown run, and they like they cruiserweight, sure.
Well,
But
I mean that might be a bad example because there were some dogs in that cruiserweight division back in the day.
nah, that's fact. Like okay, so like maybe like the 205 roster, even though there was some dogs there
or,
too.
or, no, 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 or let's use
Enzo
what was
maybe.
it Enzo and Pac.
Definitely great example. Same height, maybe the same weight even. Two fucking totally different breeds. Like
Styles.
yeah, one's a pure entertainer, the other entertainer by defying gravity. Like he ain't even really got to speak, bro. This nigga in ring. That's what I
Just
always
let
loved
him do
about
his
Pac.
shit.
Yeah, I never needed to listen. That's one. See the difference between him and Ricochet. They put Ricochet in these weird positions where he needed to talk, and his in ring style, even though he was athletic, it was a little bit soft. Pac always
And, he,
drilled it home.
and even in Lucha Underground in Japan, the Indies, Ricochet was never a talker.
Right.
And another good example, or not so much, but to a degree, I can make this case: Ricochet and Leo Rush, smaller guys, one's vastly better on the mic than the other.
And you even got these taller acts, right? Dustin Rhodes, Goldust, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Baron Corbin when he was the lone wolf. Like they could have
Mm-hmm.
been in that giant, right? They 6'10" and almost 6'9", whatever. They classified under the remember that picture I showed you that WWE classifies certain people with giant?
Oh yeah,
They
yeah. The requirements is giants.
yeah. They all could fit the bill, but they all different styles. Like maybe Baron Corbin had like a hybrid of like a Scott, you know what I'm saying? Even Damian Priest now. Like you just got different instead of everybody being the same. Like, and I feel sometimes
And
when we
shit,
see some of
motherfuckers
these
forget
other
Bully Ray Dudley used to be 400 pounds.
that's what I'm saying. Back in the day, I feel like there was an indie back in the day. It's just I feel like people were more. I want to say people were more unique, bro. Like I feel like what I see now is you got them rare cases where okay, this person stands out for sure. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
copy and paste back in the day too, a lot of generic shit.
But
But there was
everyone was focused on the character,
right,
the personality. Because
right.
and now it's like everyone's looking at it like present day. Okay, I gotta be able to hit a Canadian destroyer. I gotta take a Spanish fly. I have to hit a moonsault. Why? Oh, because all these people are doing it. Okay, who cares?
Like we don't even have like a Mr. Wonderful. There's no Paul Orndorff out there really. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
You know who would have been pretty damn close, depending on how they were booked. That could have done a Mr. Wonderful.
who?
I can't help saying this. Miz.
I
If
mean, I
Miz
could
would
see
have
it
got it,
though.
if Miz would have got his ass in the gym 20 years ago, he could have done something like a Paul Orndorff, maybe even a Rick Rude,
That little
something
shit he does
like
with his
that.
face, that little shit he does with his face is a cadence, like a little bit of that. Like
Yeah.
he he could pull it, then he just got to go into the flexing, take the roll. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and he got a jacket now, so that's why it's not far fetched for me. Like it can't, like he's just like this version of it. Nah, for real, yeah. Like we need like at least you can have all of these dudes with a first name, last name, but like there's not many like the Miz, a dude that don't have a
And,
first name, last name.
and because of that is the only reasons why I'm holding out a very, very minute glimpse of hope for the likes of a Marty Skrull, an Enzo, a Velveteen Dream to go back to WWE because they have a very distinct character. They
Hell
have a
yeah, that
gimmick.
cadence. Yo, when
Now,
you
for
see
obvious
people
reasons, I can see why they won't. Why they may not get a shot. But should the
that,
opportunity present itself, I would be
nah,
happy to see them back there.
one, I'm not trying to start nothing on this podcast. We just unwelcoming our thoughts. But if Brock Lesnar gonna be able to come back after what he was implicated in, like, come on, y'all gotta come on, y'all. These dudes is innocent, bro. What are we holding on to, bro? Like, when I say innocent, I'm talking as Enzo and Velveteen. If they would have been found wrongdoings of them, they would have been found wrongdoings. Did they do weird shit, questionable shit? Perhaps in whose eyes?
Potentially, but
Right, like
also again, I know this is a bad example, but who hasn't done dumb shit when they're under the influence?
facts. And again, everybody's dumb shit is different. Enzo's case, he hollered at a chick. That's like you don't really know this chick. You're a celebrity. You gotta hold yourself to higher standards. Like he slipped
And,
up in his scale in his life. As a regular dude, you know how many regular dudes probably do what he did, and there's not a problem, and there's not a girl trying to tear his cause
how
they not
much does it even
celebrity.
get brought up?
Like the Velveteen shit, it's a little bit it's a little bit sketchier, but
Hmm.
that one is like I don't know, right? Because I don't know his person. And now I'm not trying to defend it by no means. I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of a celebrity. Like, are you really willing to throw it away over something like silly that can really be screenshotted on an Instagram message? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, is it that the temptation? Like, that's the part that I find hard to believe that like you signed to the WWE and you would do something like that just blatantly, right? But
And then you got the no Lars Sullivan stuff was a little bit different.
yeah, he had controversy behind him coming into the shit that they ain't know about.
Well, I guess he was homophobic, and then when that stuff was making some noise, someone I guess he did a gay sex tape, and that made the rounds on the internet for a minute.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody do what they do, but that was crazy on his behalf, right? Like,
That
fuck,
was insane.
nigga lost his job off like just for no reason, for real.
And you're gonna tell the folks that you have anxiety in front of cameras. Now we know why.
Yeah, I mean, in the case of law, I like if I had to bring them back, laws, nah. Enzo, yeah. Velveteen, it's a
Maybe.
we have to like everybody got to be okay with this. It can't just be like, oh, we're gonna decide. Then we got the crowd
Oh,
chanting
okay.
crazy shit.
So okay, on that notion, again, I don't know if you caught the whole thing of Cody's and Randy's segment, but Sheamus kind of touched on this on Maggie's show the other day. Those two guys are pitching for Riddle to come back to WWE.
For who?
Matt Riddle.
How do you feel about Riddle? I mean, like, I just think like,
I mean,
listen, when it comes to domestic stuff, nobody gonna know what it's like to be with a girl or guy significant other, and then they in positions where they get pushed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And whether that's physically, verbally, mentally, you know,
but then
them
you have the possible drug problems too.
right. The lifestyle, right. You add on the lifestyle. Um, yeah, and then there's just like no help in between. There's just like the people you with not even like really trying to help you. They just letting you shit the bed for real. Like, so I mean, his case is it's a little I would like for him to find the help he need because like again, another one, it's okay to get lit, but when you at the airport getting filmed, thinking you him and this and that, like it's just it's bad, right? But now we gave other people chances that's still in the company under doing stuff, not domestic stuff, but they got caught drinking and driving, right? No, put no names out, right? But
Yeah, some of our favorites have a number of DUIs to where how they're still allowed to have a vehicle.
drive from city to city, facts. or like yeah, or just travel period, right? Like from like, cause they might take away the license, might not. I don't know how shit work in other states. I know you do that shit in New York. I think chances are you getting your license peeled. Like it's over. You might have to wait 4 8 years to get another license.
Just whenever them points get off your license.
Yeah, facts. So
But
I don't know. It's like it is favoritism. It's a little bit of nepotism to a degree, not directly, but like it's a little bit more to favoritism. I think people gotta accept that shit. That shit everywhere though. Like you said about people doing dumb shit. There's favoritism everywhere. There's people that's gonna be bought back. It don't help. Enzo did that dumb shit at SummerSlam too, when he was in the crowd when he got fired.
when he got escorted by security,
Yeah, 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 yeah. He probably Triple H probably looked at him like he really a clown off that one. Like, you know what I'm
and probably
saying?
getting a
Like,
text. You dumb son of a bitch.
yeah, like come on, bro, for real. Like that though. Like,
Well,
cause
again,
I
not
thought
not
it was
not
funny.
great
I thought it
publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, I thought me personally, as a fan at that moment, doing no content on wrestling and all this shit, having no opinion, I laughed. I was like, yo, this dude is crazy. I'm like, man, Enzo's a wild motherfucker, bro. Like, he got the balls to really show up to the place that, like, you know how many people want to do that? Like, yo, you got fired, and now I'm pulling up. What? Y'all fired me? Y'all fired me? Like, I was like, nah, that's gangster. But then
You're right.
I also looked at the other side of the coin. It's not about being gangster. It's about being smart for him, for the example. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm just saying, as obvious is, if you want to get back in somewhere, that's not the right move to do. That's a fool.
Anything but that.
Yeah, that's a foolish move. Like you can display your pleasure online all you want. Triple H has made amends with people, but when you made such a irrational decision like that, it's kind of like, damn, we don't know how you gonna act again. Like, what? It's kind of like how they let Jeff Hardy. It's kind of like how they let Jeff Hardy go, even though the story's
Which
different.
time?
This last one, when he walked out of the live event or whatever the case is, and
Hmm.
they were trying to accuse him of being on something, and then the test came back, he wasn't on nothing allegedly, but they still released him anyway. Cause they was just like, yo, we don't know what you want, bro. Like you want some shit. Like you walking out of live events and shit. Like we don't know
Well, they're
what you
probably going. Are you back on that shit again or what?
right. Like they really had to drug test him. Like they really started questioning, like, bro, what are you doing? How you walk out on a live event mid segment, mid match? Like wrestlers are still in the ring. You just walked out the match. Like what? Like
Crazy.
it's like, all right, that's the shit that's like when you at this level of doing business, we can all right, we love you. You'll be a Hall of Famer for us one day. We never gonna forget the contributions that you've done, given us. But this right here, this is not how you do it, champ.
Anything but this.
That's why I ultimately respect how certain business is conducted if it has valid reasoning. You know what I'm saying? CM Punk
Hmm.
called it from the front on the post conference. You got me working with Charles that can't run a Target, bro. Or Walmart, whatever he damn said. He said one of these convenience retail places, right? They
I remember he said they couldn't manage a target.
feel me? So like they can't manage a Target, bro. He's letting y'all know he's out the fucking company now. What are they doing? Like you said, Young Bucks are dicking them right now. They the champions, and why they the champions still if their appearances are done? Now you got to pay extra. They last appearance, when they last appearance, they should have been dropping the belts. Go ahead, take your vacation. We could renegotiate. Well, we're already in what? What is it? We're in August. And in August, we could renegotiate in 3 months. Take a break, chill.
Instead, it's hey, you guys gotta be on TV because if you show up on any more times, I gotta pay you double or whatever the fuck it is.
Cause now they on a pay per appearance. Kind of like Brian Danielson. That man's not even under contract. I wonder how his shit probably looking pretty sweet for this one. Working this one under no contract? Huh.
Well, no, no. The Bucks are under contract, but it's
No, I
they've
mean
already.
Brian.
Oh,
If
I
he's
mean,
gonna work it,
I'm sure it's a very hefty per appearance. So with that being said, are we going to hear Wembley sing the final countdown? More than
man,
likely.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think Brian going nowhere. But then, like you said, what does it do for Swerve? Like, ah,
And here's the fucked up part. All this is probably likely to set up another program with Swerve and Hangman. Yep.
oh man, why is this the rivalry we need, bro? Like, this is like one of those rivalries. Like it's kind of like Triple H and Kane. Like, do we need this shit, bro? Like, I mean, yeah, okay, it was cool, but we don't need, nah, I mean, all the extraness.
Yep.
Like, I was cool with Trips and Taker, Trips and Kane. This is this is the level of what I'm at with it. Like,
No. Let's get it right. This is the sequence of Trips and Kane with Katie Vick.
man, oh, yeah, the coffin. No, no,
That's where we're at with this.
bad times. The times they don't even show us no more.
Hey, when Raw goes to Netflix, we may see Katie Vick come back from beyond the grave by way of Uncle Howdy.
Craziness.
You know how funny that'd be?
We might see some real wonky shit though, for real. I wouldn't even be mad though because it's like now we really in the uncharted territory where remember when Kane was like on that See No Evil Kane? What if one of these dudes go wrestlers do a movie, go on Netflix and they come into to Raw with that gimmick? I mean, I could be off a little bit.
Here's my one small issue with that. What date on the calendar year are we going to find funnier than May 19th for whatever reason? And also, because someone do the just that Shawn Michaels did when he's going, May 19th!
Man, bro, I ain't gonna lie. When Sean did just as unrelated, when Sean started doing them other movies and stuff, I was just like, what is he doing? They had Sean in these horse movies, the God movies and stuff. I like, bro. I started tripping. Then Triple H was in the other sh- chaperone shit. He was in the other shit. He was in Blade. Blade was alright though. But nah, the ones that came back, I want to say like it was only Kane really though. Kane came back and maybe John Cena. Once he did the Marine, you kind of seen the gimmick switch a little bit. I want to say.
But also, before we had, what came first, Steel Evil or Steve Austin with the Condemned?
Mm-hmm. I remember
Which
that.
one came first?
Between which movie?
Evil and the Condemned. Because the Condemned was a good movie.
I want to say See No Evil came out because they had two of them. But hold on, they might have came out in the same year. Now that I think about that, '09 year, they might have came out in the same year. Condemned. That's the shit when they was in the forest, right?
Yep.
Yeah, when he was trying to escape.
It was Hunger Games before it was Hunger Games.
Yeah, nah, that shit was slick. Austin just don't like doing movies. He said that shit after the last expendable shit he did with these dudes. Like he not really a movie person. Like I respect it though.
I think similar to Braga, he don't like being around all these people just to be around them. It's like, no,
Yeah,
I don't like your vibe. I don't like your vibe.
and I think it's a different expectation, right? Like when you got the like you coming from the same profession as the like you the Rock, Cena. Like even for Cena, I feel like it's hard for him to find his footing like the Rock did because the Rock set that like precedent.
I think Cena decided his style. Now it's just he has to figure out which style fits him best. Now, John's been very funny in that uh, tongue in cheek. dirty comedy style.
The Ricky Stenicki, that's probably the best comedy one I've seen him do.
That was hilarious. Peacemaker was hilarious because it's John being John. Like I said, he's a typical like New England asshole.
Like I think what made The Rock dial in is kind of like him and Cena having the same. Where like The Rock had them early Disney movies, right?
Hmm.
He had to do like these little friendly style. Cena's not really so much friendly, but like you said, he's in that comedy role, so we're not really
You
getting
can see you see where he's more comfortable in his outside of his own show.
right when he tap in
And then
again. Like I thought he looked good in Fast and the Furious. He tap into a role like Jacob, like that. Oh, I think it'll be crazy for him.
or look at the money that our manager that Batista found his Drax.
Hmm. What's the one Rock movie that did it for you? That made you feel like he arrived?
My favorite by his is Walking Tall.
That's definitely dope. He was going around with the 2x4 like a badass. I mean,
That one and Gridiron Gang are the ones for me to where I can watch those whenever.
I ain't mad at that.
Um, I wasn't a big fan of Scorpion King. Well, I was a fan of the Mummy movies in general, nor the cartoon back in the day. Um, what else? What else? He was in a lot of bad remakes that really weren't that great. Walking Tall. That was with Knoxville, right? Johnny Knoxville.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. I want to say he did another movie with Knoxville, but I could be wrong.
I think
But
his
definitely.
Hobbs, like I don't know what it is about those Fast and the Furious. I think it's because they did big box office, but like once you can insert them easily into these movies, it's kind of like hold on. It's kind of like what they did in the Expendables. Like when you could add these dudes easily on screen and have action, and not make it look cheesy. Like oh, he's just going in and doing the rock bottom and this and that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, he done did that shit in the movie, but it done look fire within the scenes. Like again, I think if you seen Empire State of Mind when he was the detective trying to figure out who was stealing from the bank from the Brinks, that movie was kind of fire. Let me see what other rock shit. I think it was Wall
Don't you tell me
Street.
Black Adam was a good movie?
You don't like that Black Adam?
I hated it.
Were I mean I thought it. You know what it is? I don't really like DC movies to begin with, so for me it was cool.
I wanted to give it a chance because he was in it.
I like that one better than the Flash. I'll tell you that. Black Adam was better than the Flash to me. But maybe again, it's because you, like you said, it's because maybe the Rock's in it. You put somebody else in that shit. Maybe I'm not. But I did like Shazam too. I wasn't overly. Oh my god, I love Shazam. But it's like I fucked with it. Fucked with Shazam. So 'cause I'm trying to like really. Like, I feel like the Rock took off too. But I was trying to really see. Chat, y'all let us know too. What's your favorite Rock movie or what y'all feel made the Rock take off? For me, it's the Hobbs shit. I think once and then the controversy with him and Vin Diesel after a certain point. I think that shit made it even more must see between them.
So no one's gonna say Moana, huh?
That shit is OD fire. That's why I don't even really, even though that is on Disney, I don't even look at that the same way I looked at the other movies, cause like the other movies they had him dressing up and stuff, and it was live action. My kids, they really fuck with The Rock now, cause when he on TV, she can hear the voice, like she hears his voice and look like, and I'm like, yeah, that's Maui right there, like you know what I'm saying? So
That's
yeah,
dope.
Yeah, that shit to me. Yeah, I fuck with Moana and him being in Moana. I wonder how it's gonna look when they do the live action version.
That's probably why he's as big as he is now.
Hmm. Yeah, 'cause I think they're gonna
But
do the animated second part, and then he's gonna
I
do
thought
the
the live
live
action
version.
comes out. I thought the live action comes out before the part two.
It might. I might. Yeah, I might. I'm not sure entirely. Yep.
Because I think we get the live action of Moana and Lilo and Stitch this year. I think.
Even Roman looked alright in the Hobbs and Shaw movie when they had him out there.
And I have breaking news. Claudio Castagnoli has won the CMLL Grand Prix.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's see. Kyle Fletcher's in the tournament. New Japan's Yota Tsuji's in the tournament. Flip Gordon was in the tournament. By the looks of this picture, it also had David Hart Smith Jr. to name a few guys. Uh, Mansoor was in the tournament, I believe. Yep. But the Grand Prix, it's just a big battle royal. I'm not certain what the overall significance is or whatever, but yeah, yeah, it was Flip Gordon in that in the tournament or whatever the hell it is.
fuck Flip Gordon. That shit used to have me.
But he's another guy that I don't know why he's on an AW.
No more friends.
Well, even before after that very first All In, I don't know if it was just the whole flat Earth thing or whatever, but he just fell off the whole U.S. scene altogether. I don't know if it was injury related or what the case was. But as we wind down, I'm gonna let you chill out since I know you got a busy day ahead of you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You already know. Chat. Much love. Appreciate y'all sticking through with us. We shall be back on Monday. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not gonna allow a bad Monday Night Raw to keep me off this time. Gotta
If we
have
gotta
those.
hate on it, we gotta hate on it.
Yeah.
They'll get
Fuck it.
over it.
Yeah. We'll be back on Monday, chat. Facts. Take care, y'all.